Okairi Waki Yakutachi, welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. How is everyone doing this fine day so far? Hello, y'all. I hope you're all having a good start to your day. Hello, Bud the Chud. Hello, Lord. Hello, Unknown. Hi, man. And hello, Hakuro. Welcome. I'm dying. Get it? Diane? Because there's a character in Miss Wings of Grey called Diane? Oh, man. That joke was ahead of its time. Yes. Anyways, so, cringy jokes aside, I hope y'all are doing good. Let's see. Let me just get this set up. So today what we're going to be doing is thank you, Kiyoshi. We're going to be doing, what's it called? Amidst Wings of Grey, the event story specifically. I have a video and there's no voice acting, so I'll do it on my own. And then we're going to be doing, be doing part 1 of Zucchero Cafe. So we're starting with Amidst Wings of Grey and then Zucchero Cafe. That way I can be up to date with everything. So yes. Hi, Yumi. How are you? I'm good, LP. Hello, Baguettes. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I'm having a good day. Sorry, Tomato. I'm sorry to hear you're sick, and I hope that you recover quick. I hope you do. Hopefully my bad attempts at voice acting will end up helping here, but okay. I've got to get ready because Diane has I said that I would voice Diane a certain way. So let's jump in and do this. Thankfully, Girls Frontline is all girls, and the Shiki-kun can be a girl, so I can just give them all certain voices. I'll pause as we go, and I'll try to do what I can to remember how the femme Shiki-kun talks. She's kind of like, you know, very brah, brah. I'm the female Shiki-kun, so well, maybe she's not exactly like that, but you get my point. Hopefully. Anyways, hey Arctic, welcome. Oh, all right. Doing my warm-ups. La 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 la. Hello, Joseph. Hello. Quick announcements, actually, before I start with this. We did a, actually first, I hope Amidst Wings of Grey and Zucchero Cafe don't, like, you know, break my heart, hopefully, but, you know, I thought we're playing DB stuff. That's Wednesday. We're doing Coconut Battle on Wednesday, then Daima on Saturday, and then Amidst Wings of Grey and Zucchero Cafe on Monday and Friday. Wait, once more. Let me. Holy fridge, my throat. Okay, so hopefully I don't cry. But yes, quick announcements. Art goal has been completed. I don't want to talk about it anymore because I am just as embarrassed as I guess so, as not to seem negative based from sarcastic from earlier. Hope you have fun today. Oh yeah, of course. No, you're not. I you know, sometimes when I go for a joke like that that's bad, it's not me trying to be, it's actually me giving you guys an opportunity to totally rag on me. I'm not so oblivious to know that my jokes are sometimes god-awful. So I say, isn't it great, chat? So you guys can totally be sarcastic, make fun of me, all that stuff. That's me opening up to you, just like teasing me, genuinely. So don't ever feel bad about doing that, really. Did I see GFL's Global's new video? No. Was it about, I think I heard about it. It's Klukai. But yes, quick announcement, there is a certain art that was created. I'm a little embarrassed about it. We won't talk about it much further. And yes, download Vango complete. That's all I'm going to say. Nothing else. Okay, let's see the new global video. Okay, so there is a new global video coming soon. Okay, let me pull this up. We'll react to this and then we'll start the reading. And let me actually update the title. Dude, I'm just like plus, 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 plus. Plus, 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 plus. Okay, there we go. Klukai coming next banner. All right, here we go. Why did that sound like you're calling a cat over? Wait, the plus, plus, plus. Here we go. Oh my God. Belka, your booty. It's just hanging out. Oh, they had a... Wait, they had an actual actress for this one? To just ride a motorcycle. Okay, do you get... Either that's green screened or they straight up had to rent that bridge. To do the recording. We're renting it for 10 minutes, sorry y'all. I won't lie, it's pretty nice. The fact that they got a full-on cosplayer do that is pretty cool. And then on top of that, what's it called? The whole riding on the motorcycle is pretty cool. Oh, wait, why didn't my alert go? There we go. Brennan, thank you for the gifted membership. I greatly appreciate it. Every bit helps and goes towards stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Bud, thank you for becoming part of the Walkie Squad. I hope you enjoy your time here. Oh, and another one. Thank you for the second gifted membership, and same to you, Frodo. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Excuse me. Enjoy your emotes and the badge next to your name. They'll have a stream on March 12th. When? What time? I need the details on this one. I need the details. I need to know, what are we doing so far with what's it called? Oh my God, I can't even, I can't even remember what I'm trying to say. Anyways, you know, I need the deets, but are you still feeling a little coffee from the karaoke day? Yes, I've also been spending a lot of time with my glasses and they've kind of been making me feel a little sick. And I had some sushi before I started streaming. I try to eat a little bit of breakfast every day because it gives me energy and makes me feel plentiful. But screaming into the microphone and doing voice acting will help. So let's start with Amidst Wings of Grey. This is an hour and 30-minute long story that I will be narrating entirely because there's no voice acting. Shoot! I missed my point. Dandelion slowly exits the room and stands upright under the night sky. The clouds scatter. Oh my God, you go so fast! Gradually scatter, and the moonlight shines on her. While she's the only one in the garden, a pair of images suddenly appear. She seems to realize something and closes her eyes. What the? Are you going to slow down? Oh my God. And this, hold on. Jesus, this person's just like clicking. maybe if I slow down the speed a little. The only problem is if the music doesn't play, her mouth curves up in a faint smile and she bows as though welcoming someone. You're here? It's your first time coming to see me in 10 years. Makes me feel lonely. There's nothing in front of Dandelion, but the familiar form in her eyes is standing before her. We haven't seen each other in so long, but you aren't even discussing anything related to me. How cruel. We're gonna slow this down just a little. It might be just an instant for you, but for me, it's a long time. For that person, it is endless torment. That's terrible, don't you think? Isn't that just too cruel for one person? How could I possibly refuse you? I was just griping. Surely you'll permit me to indulge myself a little, won't you? I knew it. Selfishness is unavoidable, even for someone like you. Dandelion looks at the girl before her, who does not deny this, and shakes her head as though in self-mockery. Everything has changed, possibly for the better, but possibly for the worst. Everything that happened 10 years ago feels like a lovely dream compared to now. Sometimes I wonder if I've ever even woken up yet. If not for my neurologs telling me that it actually did happen, I'd have forgotten that unforgettable time. This is actually working. Did you expect all of this too? Or were you just standing aside, watching aloofly as we failed around like a troop of clowns? I understand. Your arrival implies a new trial is upon us. Still, you chose to stand aside and watch back then. Now you're spouting pretentious lines about how you want that person to walk back into the fire. Don't you think you're going too far? Or is this one of your little indulgences? Dandelion leisurely walks in front of that invisible presence. Her face does not change, but Dandelion, who was born of the same origin as her, already knows the answer in her heart. Yes, I know you have to do this. I know them well. For them, trials have never been a difficult thing. But the person has lost everything. Wealth, fame, comrades, their precious future, and all our former friends, namely, most alls. Everyone and everything has been taken from them, and a great price must be paid for them to gain the strength to rise again. Yet, more than the strength, it is a question to make them want to rise up. Once more, that truly puzzles me. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, could just mute the sound. I could just mute the sound in the back. Thank you guys. I'm glad you're liking the voice for Dandelion. For you, VA, not only for singing. All right, time to become a voice actor. I'll just do all the deep voices and the child voices. So I'll be Balloon Party. Oh, yeah, or, you know, I'll just be like, hey. Just do that from here on out. Never ever doing normal voice acting. And then I'll get famous off of that. And then people will just be like, huh, that's it. Shall it? Imagine your throat dying. Dude, it is dying. But yes, the sound is getting distorted because it's at 0.5 speed, so bear with me. It is a little distorted, but it is the best way to do this. On top of that, it's like the only way to keep things going. But I find it funny that it's lingering on some points and then really fast on others. So surely you have a way to steer the future in a direction which is not bound by the terms of Mephisto, do you know? But if it's you, you'd surely reply that everything that happened was meant to protect that person. After all, to you that person is the catcher in the rye. Am I wrong? Dandelion freezes up. For a moment, there's an almost imperceptible shade of emotion on her face. However, she immediately resumes her usual smile and then continues talking like she's trying to convince herself. After all, living is the most important thing. That might be true, but it's also a prison of sorts. 10 years is by no means a short span of time for humans. Even if it was the right choice, it still ended up hurting that person. And for the second time, too. I wonder, as someone who made such a ruthless choice, do you feel sorry for the person you hurt? Dandelion tilts her head ever so slightly, so as though she's ready to listen to a confession. She seems to be looking forward to making life hard for her conversational partner, but doesn't last long, because she then proceeds to state her own request. Hello, Panzer. And yes, Klukai got a teaser. It was just a cosplay one. Alright. It's not like it's particularly difficult for me anyway. I shall carefully calculate the odds of you fulfilling your wish. And then I shall move in a mysterious way to guide that person's destiny to join with yours. Will that satisfy you, my dear sister? She has a sister! It's going to take a bit of time. There are no drawbacks for me besides things being a little annoying. However, the price that you will have to pay is going to be so high that even I'm having trouble imagining it, you know? Alright. Since it's related to that person, I shall have to exert myself and give it a try. I promise to watch how that person's life ends. After all, but in exchange, you'll have to help me fulfill our wish. Okay. Dandelion opens her eyes, and her face still has a smile, gently lifts. She gazes on a radiant moon and begins talking to. Goodness, you're just like before, running off and abandoning me the moment you're done talking. Still, the boring days are finally over. An age of fire and blood is upon us once more. I wonder what kind of destiny awaits them in such a world. Yes, it'll be a while until that day comes. Until then, I should probably start doing some of the things I promised her. Dandelion slowly raises her arms, and then she claps rapidly. Almost immediately, a girl with black hair like hers appears behind her. Thank you, man. Lady Dandelion, you called? Ellie, I need network access to the beacon network in the central region. Oh yes, help me say hi to the old bunch and tell them their peaceful lives are over. Would you like me to sugarcoat the message? Just give it to them straight. They will underestimate my meaning with joy in their hearts. Yes, I will take care of it at once. The girl called Helly leaves without a sound, leaving Dandelion alone in the garden. When will the day of reunion come? It's such an exciting thought. Oh god, that was horrible. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That was bad. I'm gonna mute when that happens, okay, y'all? Alright. Come on, give me the next part of the story. The desolate plains are host to a cluster of buildings that stand out among their surroundings, but are otherwise rather shabby. They sit within a temporary wall. Several sets of thick railways tracks extend inward from the distance, intersecting at the small intercontinental railway resupply station. This seemingly unassuming supply station serves as a repository for supplies from outside the contamination zone, and it is also the last hope for anyone seeking to leave the yellow zone. As the quarantine walls gates open, a rust-speckled intercontinental railway slowly pulls into the supply station. Amidst strident alarms, radiation cleansing wash is sprayed onto the train cars and pours off the side, emitting an acrid odor. Okay, maybe I should do it on playback speed 75 and just pause as I need. That sounds awful. Forget it. We're just gonna do it at normal. As the train slows down, a deafening metallic shriek echoes within the building, causing the surrounding travelers to reflexively cover their ears. Ooh! Oh, that is awful! The train comes to a halt and its heavy blast doors open. Gangways extend from the trains to platform and the passengers stream off the vehicle. The passengers all look tired as they drag their luggage off the trains. However, one of them is not like the others, as she hops, skips, and jumps off down the ramp. Hello, Noah. Ah, that ride was so boring. So boring. So much for an express train. I was stuck in my seat for 20, count them, 20 hours. My bones feel like they were being shaken to bits. As an ELID doll, aren't you made of sterner stuff than that? Even an ELID doll can't handle having to sit in a chair the size of a wash basin. Isn't that right, big sis? An elegantly dressed doll emerges from the cabin car. She pets Jung Yu's head, which manages to soothe the somewhat antsy little sister. Okay, this is the one where I'm not sure how to do her voice. So I know she looks like a mom, so I don't want to give her the same one as Dandelion, so give me a second. It must have been hard on you, but I don't think that's enough to get the better of the best little sister in the world. Am I right? Upon hearing Diane's words, Jian Yu goes from pouting in annoyance to smiling broadly, and she smugly plants her hands on her waist. Of course, I was just venting a little. It's not as though I was actually bothered by it. Zoe, how are you doing? As a doll being able to get a seat at all is pretty good. We shouldn't have asked you. I know it's been hard on everyone, but there's still a few more hours until our transfer train arrives. Shall we rest in the train station? Big sis, we spent the collapsed pieces we saved for over half a year on the travel expenses for the journey. Was it really necessary? It's true that the cross-country travel is a little expensive, but there was an important reason for it. What kind of reason could be worth half a year of income? That's a secret for now. But once you find out, I'm sure you'll be surprised. A surprise? I hope it won't turn out to be a shock instead. I'm sure Diane has a reason for doing what she did. Shouldn't you have absolute faith in her as her little sister? That's true, but we spend so much money, and I don't know the reason why. Can't you let me complain a little? I think our luggage for this trip's been unloaded. Go over and get our traveling cases before someone takes them. Okay. Oh! My collection is in the luggage. I can't lose them again this time. Zhang Yu frantically runs toward the luggage carousel. Diane sighs quietly, and Zhao Hui walks up to her. Frankly speaking, I don't really understand the purpose of this journey either. If it's to expand the range of our tour, then there's no point in going so far by train. We won't even make the money for the tickets back with our concert earnings. Bye, Nightmare! Our destination is far away from our current active radius. I'm sure you wouldn't have chosen this region if you didn't have a reason for it. Indeed. I have very important reasons for doing this. An important friend contacted me some time back, and while she didn't tell me why I had to be there, I was sure it was related to our shared past. Dang, okay, they're giving more time for me to read now. I can do this. As an important friend, does that mean related to your past in Griffin? Yes, for a certain reason, my friend did not want to leave any records that we knew about this ahead of time. Oh, what a strange reason. Sorry I dragged you into this. Don't worry about it. Besides, it's not like I have anywhere else to go. Zhao Hui stretches, seemingly to put Diane at ease, and Diane responds with a smile. Zhang Yu's pleading voice rings out from the distance. Big sis, this is bad. Diane and Zhao Hui turn around to the sound of the voice and see Zhang Yu being chased by several men in security guard uniforms. The guards are trying to handcuff Zhang Yu, but her strength and agility are far beyond theirs. Zhang Yu calls loudly out to her sister. These stupid guards won't listen to me at all! This smuggler is a tricky one. Get more guys in here to surround her. You're the smuggler! Your mom is a smuggler! Oh my god, she's a brat. As Zhang Yu makes a bigger and bigger ruckus, the surrounding travelers gather round to gawk, and more security guards swarm them more. Diane and Zhao Hui immediately run over to Zhang Yu, blocking her behind them, and then Diane whispers to Zhao Hui. Hana, don't hurt the humans, otherwise things will get very troublesome. Zhao Hui replies with a knowing nod and attempts to take them down the oncoming security guards aside with minimum force. After seeing the doll's prowess, the guards freeze up, unwilling to recklessly approach them. However, there is the sound of a handgun clamoring, chambering around in the distance, and a middle-aged woman who looks like a police officer stalks over to Diane and the others. Okay, I'm getting the pacing. Railway police! Cease struggling, or I will open fire. Anna. Diane looks around herself. While this is just a minor transfer station, things will get extremely troublesome if they do get detained here. Since they haven't broken the law, their current priority is to figure out why Zhang Yu is being chased by those security personnel. She's a smuggler! Officer... Excuse me, guys. Officer, we're just ordinary travelers. Why are you trying to arrest my sister? The railway police looks Diane up and down. He shows no sign of lowering his guard. Are you a doll? Dolls of your grade are a rarity around here. Where's your owner? Get him out here. I want to speak to him. Officer, we own ourselves, and we have proper credentials. Here's our electronic ID. Still suspicious, the officer scans Diane and the other's ID. His system indicates that they are indeed self-owned and authorized to travel freely. There we go. Had to clear my throat for a moment. Dang, so you really are self-owned dolls. That's something you don't see every day. The railway police officer finds it hard to believe his eyes. Then he looks back to question the security guards who were chasing Jiang Yu. What's with those dolls? Our scans revealed weapons in their luggage. They've got guns. Lots of guns. We were authorized to bear fire control cores and use weapons. Our ID already shows this. We also declare the other weapons before boarding the train. You can find it in the hazardous goods transport permit section. The police officer eyes the security guard behind him, who frantically opens his terminal and goes through it. A while later, he lowers his head and speaks dejectedly. It's all in there. What the heck are you morons playing at? Don't you even know how to check IDs and forms? But our scanners threw up an alarm, and we saw the guns and thought we should detain them. That's why none of you have managed to get proper postings so far. You clowns can forget about being promoted for the rest of your lives. The railway police officer makes a big show of berating the security men, then quietly speaks to them. They say that dolls can't get clearances like this, have a complicated past. You shouldn't get involved with them. Bye, Kiyoshi! Dang it. Even humans don't get this kind of treatment. They're licensed to carry weapons and fire control cores. They must be tactical dolls from some PMC. A PMC? Then maybe these dolls are... Oh! Suddenly, there's a massive explosion from outside. A huge plume of black smoke raises from the quarantine wall. Oh my god. I swear, this is the most inconsistent clicking I have ever dealt with. It's like you click once, and then they give you time. You click again, and then they just immediately click again. What was that? The sound of screaming comes from the direction of the explosion, and a panicked crowd begins running this way. It's a boojum! A boojum's hitting the quarantine wall! A boojum! Run for your life! Fear instantly spreads through the crowd and the surrounding tourists. Blah blah. Dang it, how many times has it been that mess? Chief, we've got an ELID incursion. Get your guns and follow me. Something suddenly occurs to the railway police officer, and he turns around to address the dolls. We're undergunned here. Can you help us out? Since you're tactical dolls, dealing with ELID should be a piece of cake for you, right? What should we do? We should take our luggage and run. No, we can't. There are too many civilians here. The consequences if the ELID's broke in would be unimaginable. But if that is a boojum, it's not something we can handle. After seeing the dolls hesitate, the railway police officer immediately chimes in. Just think about the unarmed civilians. As tactical dolls, shouldn't your priority be helping humans? How about this? If you help us out, I can help you apply for a security certificate within the railway network. That way, you'll never be stopped or questioned no matter which station you go to. Sounds like a good deal to me. Then, well, wait a minute, big sis. I have a condition. Can we get better seats on the next trip? No problem. I'll think of something. Upon hearing the seat upgrade, Jiang Yu's eyes practically glow with this excitement. Diane looks at Zhao Hui and nods. Now that their friends have agreed, Diane makes up her mind. Understood. Officer, please allow us to assist you. The railway officer... Oh, shoot. The railway... I can't see it because it's Wolflaxia Railway. The railway officer entrusted this region to us. Make sure you don't let the ELIDs into the station. Wow, Oh, look over there, big sis. There's a huge hole in that section of the wall, over there in the distance. The ELIDs must have entered through there. Looks like the work of the Boojum. What should we do if we encounter it? If it's just the Boojum, I'll rip it to bits. Surely you know what Boojums are, right? They're strong ELIDs, aren't they? I knew it. We won't be engaging the Boojum. If we run into it, we flee immediately. What? I'm so frustrated now, right now. There's no pacing. There's no pacing for this. Understood. Got it, big sis. Focus. The ELIDs are drawing close. Prepare for battle. After eliminating the ELIDs within the area, Diane contacts the railway police officer over the radio. Officer, this area is clear. There's a breach in the quarantine wall here, and there are elevated levels of collapse radiation at our position. Please warn any humans nearby not to approach it. Understood. Thank you. I've already contacted the nearby railway units for support. Please ensure no ELIDs get through on your side until they arrive. Alright, leave it to us. Ah, also, you better not pass through the quarantine wall and head outside. You might run into something bad out there. Is there a problem over there? We've received reports of unidentified groups being active there, and a lot of people have gone missing recently. Boojum sightings have been increasing recently, and there are rumors about a cult operating nearby, so you best not get involved. It is the W game, Toastmaster. Thank you for the reminder. Pay attention to this. Jiang Yu puts her weapon down and stretches lazily. What the heck? These ELIDs are wimps. After seeing all those humans running scared, I thought we encountered some big monster. We're lucky that we didn't run into that big monster. Boom! There's another explosion which sounds like it came from a much closer area this time. Huh! Another explosion! Did more ELIDs sneak in? There's no way these mook ELIDs could have caused so much damage. That Boojum might be nearby. If it was a Boojum, we'd have heard its roars. That's true. We'll head over and take a look. We need to completely clear this area of threats. The dolls rarely approach the origin. Guys, I'm losing my mind right now. Y'all, I am losing my mind. Hello, Bernie. Welcome, welcome. Oh my god, it's like nothing is legitimately paced here. At all. It's like some of them we'll spend a lot of time on, and then we just click. Oh my gosh, the dolls rarely approached the origin of the explosion just now, but the thick smoke is left in its wake hasn't been dispersed yet. Fortunately, they don't hear the howling of ELIDs, apart from the sounds of burning and the wind blowing. Everything is something. After making their way through the smoke, they see the breach in the quarantine wall not far ahead. The surroundings are a mess. Yeah, man, I am struggling. Sand and invisible collapsed particles are streaming in through the breach. The dolls are stunned by the extent of devastation here. However, what truly shocks them is that there's something that most definitely doesn't belong like this, right in the middle of the breach. Imagine having consistency. Dude, imagine! Big sis! There's someone lying on the ground! Diane looks over and sees a girl with blue hair on the ground. Her hands are tightly clenched around her weapon, and there are 3 strange spheres circling her. Wait! Blue hair with spheres? Is that Helena? But Helena has pink. The spheres glow with the blue light, and the heat boiling off them makes the surrounding air ripple. It's plain to see that the previous destruction was their work. Is that a doll? Diane slowly approaches the doll on the ground, but Xiaohui immediately steps up to stop her. Wait a minute, don't go over. Diane looks at the fallen doll. The spheres have changed position and begin glowing in response to their approach. It looks like they might attack at any moment. Is that some Okay, apparently sometimes we click really fast through it. Other times we just let the text scroll along, and I will never use a video again. I will only ever do it at my own pace next time. This is only because I have to. Is this some kind of autonomous defense system? You seem like you're in a tizzy. I am in a tizzy. I am in a tizzy. No, okay, let me say one thing. I appreciate they uploaded the video. This is just frustration from someone who's trying to read and voice it too. I'm sorry. Heck, if this person watches the content, then I'm really sorry, but I won't reveal your name, and I hope I haven't hurt your feelings. I still appreciate you uploading this video. I'm just frustrated. I'm just so frustrated right now. That's not consistent. So I have to pause sometimes, and then other times I get comfortable that it's moving along at a pace where I can read, and then bam, I miss something. Okay, we're good. Okay, I'm gonna get back into character. Diane. Huh. Why would a doll have something like that? The last time we saw... Give me a second, guys. Where was I? Those... You know what? Whatever. We're just gonna start from here. Those spheres flew off. Does that mean it's safe? Your logic pathways sure are simple. What if there's another trap? I'm not picking up any other threats for the moment. That doll looks like she's crashed. Watch her surroundings. I'm going to try to reboot her. You want to do it here? Can we just haul her back to the train station and be done with it? I have some questions for her. For some reason, I can't get the feeling that something we have is in common. Is this related to your past in Griffin? The reason that we couldn't know about ahead of time? Yeah, that's the feeling I'm getting. I'm sure there's a reason that we've all come the way here. Well, Jiangyu looks a little confused. She nods towards Dayan anyways. You know what's crazy? I think if we were just reading and not trying to read it out loud, it'd be possible to keep up with the pace. But because I'm trying to read it out loud with my voice, it's very difficult to keep up with it. Usually your reading speed decreases when you try to read out loud. That's important to the story. Maybe one day we have cutscene interpreter like GFL1. Defense mechanism. After seeing the dolls scan their surroundings, Diane begins working on the doll. She carefully turns the doll's body over and finds something. She attempts to connect to the other doll's neural cloud, and its firewall structure seems strangely familiar to her. Are you alright, big sis? Since when did you have a loadout? Connecting to her was easy. The IFF handshake protocol she's using is the same as ours. The same? How could it be the same? She's the same IF. She's got the same IFF data as you. Have you figured out why yet? Was she in Griffin too? But then why don't I remember her at all? You'll have your answer once she wakes up. Diane breaks the connection and gets to her feet. The other two dolls approach her, waiting for the doll's neural cloud to finish rebooting. As she looks at the doll before her, Diane has a rough idea of what to expect. I'm sitting in front of one of the big drop windows beside the main console. blowing on my cup. As I sip the revolting instant coffee, I think how to handle the upcoming situation. Paradise has been sighted. Dolls like Satans and Darcher have attacked us, and then there's the recent transmission. All this makes me sink deep into thought. The sneezing has started? Oh god. While I'm trying to sort things out in my head, something in my heart is protesting. Oh shoot. Well, unfortunately, their name has been revealed, so I'm so sorry. I didn't realize they'd have their Shiki-kun be the name. So the past has caught up with me at last. Just then, Mei-ling opens the door to the ops room, walking towards me with her tablet. Upon hearing me mutter to myself, Mei-ling puts it down and her curiosity and speaks to me. What were you talking about, Shiki-kun? It's nothing. Just an adult's pointless grumbling. How's that doll? Are we talking about Satans? She's been inside the doll repair bay. I just ran around the comprehensive system diagnostics on her. Looks like she's been very badly damaged. Most of it wasn't from Leader, though. Oh, just what happened to her before this? I wish someone would tell me that. Let's bring her in and do some basic repairs on her. We'll have to watch her around the clock, though. Yeah, Taicho Groza said it too. She's already arranged for rotating shifts to man the security cameras, and we have dolls around the repair bay. Alright then. I can rest easy knowing Gyoza's handling things. Shiki-kun. What's going on? Are you really going to have to bring Helena out with you again? Ever since we brought Helena back from Paradise, she has been feeling too well. We can't let people keep pursuing us. It's not enough just to keep Helena safe. We need to gather more information and launch an adequate counterattack. I know, but I'm just worried. Don't worry, Mei-ling. Everything will get better. Really? For some reason, that look in your eyes is different than before. Different? In the past, you always had this kind smile on your face, but ever since you got involved with Paradise, your eyes have started looking kind of scary. I fake a cough to hide my accidental display of emotion. After seeing the worried look in Mei-ling's eyes, I make a show of shrugging to try and calm her down. Sorry, Mei-ling. I think I recalled something from the past. Don't worry, I won't put the others in danger. I won't let danger happen to us. My words don't sound the least bit reassuring, but fortunately, Mei-ling doesn't probe further into it. Well, if you say so, Shiki-kun. Thank you, Tomato. I'm trying my best to keep up now, you know. Skill issue. I'm taking it upon myself. The reading is a skill issue. Skill issue. I nod to Mei-ling, and Mei-ling nods back. Though whether or not she actually understands remains in question. How are things on Colgate's end? If Helena's alright, can you leave Colgate to speak with her for a bit? They ought to be in the medical room. Should I go over and take a look? Yes, please pass the message on. Mei-ling nods to me, then turns to leave. After watching Mei-ling leave, I take a look at myself in the reflection in the window glass. Am I really that scary? It seems the ripple which that transmission sets off my heart were bigger than expected. My regrets over the past have come to haunt me. Before I had been willing to recall the past, and neither did I dream about change in the future. Right now, however, all the thoughts hidden in my heart are bursting out uncontrollably into my mind. Perhaps I had been trapped in the event from 10 years ago, all this time. I look into the glass again, and my face does seem kind of twisted. I should drink some coffee to cover it up. Ah! That's hot. Annoyed, I put down my mug and catch sight of the nearby control terminal. I had heard the news that had tied my heart up in knots just half a day ago. I rub my temples and begin recalling the events. No time to backtrace, and no time for repairs either. I've only been able to go through basic maintenance on everyone. Satans is out there, and the storm here is bad. We'll be alright. Right, Shiki-kun? Gyoza? Every number is confirmed just one. Is it Satan's? Yes. A burst of static comes through the comms, making it difficult to make out what Gyoza is saying. It's just her. No other Paradius combat units. No, enemy confirmed to have left the area. She retreated. She's remaining outside of our firing range, is not leaving. There's a new communications request. Caller unknown. Put it through. Gyoza, see alert. Mailing displays the new comms window on the projection screen. I walk up to the projection screen. Good day. I find myself looking at Satan's, who's wearing a hood. I cannot be certain if the collapsed storm is affecting the signal reception or Satan's vocal module is damaged, but her words are very choppy and the simple greetings took her a second to get out. Seconds to get out. It's a terrible day. That should be the first time I've seen you in the flesh, Satan's. Chasing us here, tailing us. What do you want? Satan's. My name. You know who I am. Please tell. Still trying these childish tricks on us. Satan's makes no reply or any sort of movement. She looks like a static image pasted on the projection screen. Gyoza, sit rep. No abnormalities, no movement from enemy unit. I have no time for this, Gyoza. Get rid of her. Satan's takes off her hood, revealing her exposed circuitry, protruding eyeballs, and mangled metallic hardware. Neural authorization unlock limit tell me. Give me the order, Shiki-kan. A new comms request. Encrypted channel callers. Light the dawn, shining edge in hand. Put it through. Shiki-kan! Anna, what's wrong? Are you busy, Shiki-kan? It's nothing, just a battle. The doll that carried Satan's showed up again, although she looks a little weird. Well, if you don't want to deal with her, I've got a handy little helper that can lend a hand. Handy little helper? Is the Shiki-kan who conquered far and wide back then, having this much trouble with a single doll? Looks like the good stuff Persica was talking about isn't doing that much good after all. That voice. Could it be? Oh shoot, that was Dandelion. Fridge. Well, that's okay. That's right, it's Miss Dandelion. She said she had urgent business with you, so I activated the emergency comm system. Is now a good time to talk, Shiki-kan? Normally that would be the case, but it should be a different matter if she could lend us a hand. Lena picks up on my meaning and opens a link window. Dandelion's image. Wait, are Dandelion and Darcher sisters? They look so similar now that I think about it. Dandelion is still the same as she was 10 years ago, still acting all smug even at a critical moment. Still, since she's come knocking my door, there's gotta be something she needs me to do for her. It would be more efficient to let her take care of this emergency until then. They're not sisters? Okay. You really don't understand our ceremony, do you, Shiki-kan? You're always having me clean up a big mess for you. Well, I'm not at a big loss for the great and powerful Dandelion to help us out, right? All right then, what's the problem now? I realize that there's a long time since we last spoke like this, but I end up taking this tone with her anyway. For some reason, I'm not worried at all about her that she'll be repulsed by my attitude. In fact, even her seemingly mocking tone is putting me at ease. Given body. As expected, Dandelion smiles in the familiar yet annoying way. Every time I see that smile, I just know she must be laughing like a hyena deep inside her virtual cognition image, but at the same time, I know she'll step in to solve my issues. Dandy isn't even a doll. Her body is that of a Nito that she borrowed and never returned. So she's a human? Or a Nito? Okay. I dragged the video message Gyoza sent back in the comms window. Dandelion instantly recognized the person within it. Isn't this the third generation doll? Satan's? You know her. I found the information on her easily enough in the GNOME-FUD databases. She's the Gerard Group's newest product and their pride and joy. A third generation doll, so like RO then. Her hardware is a little more advanced, but from a design standpoint, all I can say is that she's nothing more than a criminal. In a short way, worse than RO. A copy. Forget that. Forget it. That's not important. Although she looks pretty messed up, her fighting power still poses a major threat to us. What should I do? The best way to deal with a fake is the real thing. Of course. If I'm not wrong, you've required remoldering pattern technology, right? Mailing. I've outfitted Lady Gyoza with remolding patterns, but for some reason, maximum burst output is stuck at 68%. If I could enter the Elmo systems, I might be able to solve the problem of the remolding pattern's limited output. And then your squad's combat power will rise like a whoosh, and then you'll one-shot that 6/10 before dragging her frame back. I'm sure a third generation Gen Doll's NeuroCloud contains lots of info on the Gerard Group. If you let me take care of it, I could crack it just like that. Sounds good to me. Gyoza, keep a safe distance. Dandelion can boost the maximum output of your remolding pattern. Once that's done, take her out and recover her frame. Dandelion? Can we trust her? She's an old friend. In any case, we'll upgrade it ASAP. Once I give the word, launch the attack. Understood. We'll keep our distance from afar. Gyoza's team begins falling back, and I signal Dandelion to work as fast as she can. Miss Mailing, are you the Elmo's adjutant? Will you allow me to enter the Elmo's systems? Well... You can enter without her asking, you know. Oops, I accidentally right-clicked. Good manners are important for girls, Shiki-kan. You're always breaking your subordinates' hearts because you keep forgetting that. You're Miss Dandelion, right? How are you planning to get into the Elmo systems? You need to tell me whether I can come in first. Shiki-kan? It's alright. She's probably more familiar with the Elmo than we are, and we need to get an upgrade done ASAP. Then please come in, Miss Dandelion. As you wish. The Elmo shakes violently and the light sways well. The monitors on the console command begin to throw off sparks. Mailing nervously sucks in her breath, terrified that she made the wrong decision. I pat her on the back, indicating that she shouldn't be worried. However, she looks at me with nervous eyes. Soon the monitor's lights are back to normal. Dandelion must be back? All modules have been cared for very well. Looks like Miss Mailing's more capable than I expected. You're in our systems already? Oh, yes. I booted up a data backup from 10 years ago, and thanks to the massive data center on the Elmo and the nearby signal beacon, I managed to update part of my virtual cognition images data. You know what, guys? You know what? I'm gonna try something else real quick. Give me a second. Instead of having the music on and having things abruptly jar and stuff, I'm gonna put on some GFL2 music in the background and see how that works. And see if it sounds a little better. So it might not match the what's it called? It might not match the scene, but I think we need to have something in the background to kind of not make this so jarring. Continuum turbulence. Did you break your fast? Dude, I broke everything. Well, that's not correct. Yeah, you know what? We'll just have this be soothing. I might miss out on SFX like gunshots, fridge cakes. That's the hardest part about doing this without the music. All right, we'll keep pressing on. And thanks to the massive data center on the Elmo and the nearby signal beacon, I managed to update part of my virtual cognition's image data. Once it completely fuses with me, we'll all be happy campers here together. I palmed my face. The scenario I at least wanted to see came to pass. I can practically imagine the tragic days ahead of us. Wait, a backup from 10 years ago. Have you been to the Elmo before, Miss Dandelion? Well, that's a long story. You see, 10 years ago, the Shiki-kan of yours, who leisurely sitting over there, used little old me as a vehicle support AI and had me slave and labor for them all day long. She's an AI? Hey, isn't that the same as me? What I mean is that you helped keep the Elmo running in the past as well? So don't worry, I'll take a big chunk of your workload. However, the priority right now is to get the remodeling pattern. One moment, y'all. Up and running. Mailing. Have you connected that remodeling pattern's back-end systems to the Elmo? Yes! I need you to open the database and give me necessary authorizations so I can work past. Shiki-kan, can you give me a minute? I'll let you handle it. Looks like it's time for me to talk then. Lena, where's Colleen? I was just about to get Miss Colleen. Dandelion and Miss Colleen already contacted me. Seemed there's something in charge in the situation, so Helena's destination will be needed to alter a little. So we're not going to Kiev. Our prior decisions might have been leaked, and Miss Colleen's still looking for its source. Until then, we'll be transferring Helena to a reliable group. Oh, shoot! Diane was contacted by Colleen. Right now, the Gerard group has their eyes on the Elmo. Having Helena remain on the Elmo would be too dangerous for both her and the Elmo. It is a pretty high-profile vehicle, so got any specifics about the plan? I'll explain it later. In any case, there's much work for you to do, Shiki-kan. If listing all that work takes longer than a minute, it seems I'll just need to mentally prepare myself. Shiki-kan, I finished analyzing the problems with our molding pattern. You want to hear about them? Go ahead. That's amazing. I can't believe she took care of everything in less than a minute. Any problems that can be covered by the Elmo's processing power is not a problem. I've made some deductions based on the data and found that the data on the plans and geoses and the others' molding patterns was inaccurate, which led to them not being able to absorb the collapse particles at full efficiency. Fully resolving this issue will require sample calibration data, but that sort of thing can wait until later. Right now, I've performed some simple simulated calibrations that should bring the remolding pattern's output from 68 to 85%. Still not a full output, but that should be enough to deal with the new generation. Has it already been done? You can use it right away. Understood. Gyoza, check the remolding pattern. Can you raise its output to 85%? Yeah, the remolding pattern maximum output has been increased. Shiki-kan, should I continue with the attack on Satan's? Your orders are unchanged. Take her down and recover her frame. Understood. Executing now. Shiki-kan, we've recovered Satan's frame. Estimate 20 minutes until we get back to the Elmo. Thank you. You've done well. Take care on the way back. Understood. We're heading out. Well, that's later. That's Taicho Gyoza for you. She one-shotted that doll the moment she got an upgrade. I didn't expect someone to trace new as much as you would bring along an old something, Shiki-kun. Really now, but why don't I see a familiar face? Shouldn't you be the one who best knows the reason for that and best understands what happened back then? Oh, of course I understand. Is there anyone who understands you better than me, Shiki-kun? I simply thought your reaction when I phrased it that way would be very reassuring. Naturally, I understand that you're bound by the limitations of the Mephisto agreement, because some people are so terrified of you that the thought of not being separated from those cute little dolls of yours keeps them up at night. And here, I thought you had washed away to the point where you'd gotten used to those days of drifting with the wind. You didn't have to say that. What's this, Shiki-kun? Are you mad? Frustrated? Wroth, even? I looked down and away from her. No response. I know that I'm not angry. Rather, the fact she has hit the nail on the head and left me feeling a little guilty instead. All this while, I had thought that I completed my mission, so I didn't want to experience those despair-inducing things again. Things like watching my friends die and sacrificing my subordinates. Lenathic. Still, despite everything we did, everything we sacrificed, Paradeus is still around. If my mission was a failure, then what was the point of everything I did back then? As I ponder this, the regrets I've been hiding and the depths of my hurt surge to the fore again. It's not like I understand how you feel. Maybe a new beginning might not be so bad after all. Perhaps those subordinates of yours could come back and work for you again. A new beginning? What kind of beginning? Perhaps we could start with a teeny little accident. I don't have time for your riddles. Oh, you own me. I guess little Miss Nine will have to explain that. Lena? It's like this. Callan had an idea and she wants you to meet up with 404 after this. You mean with 45 and the others? No, Leva, that is to say 45 is still on the mission with Miss Callan now. Klukai's leading 404 now. Klukai's... I know. She's 416. She finally became 404's leader like she always wanted. Yeah, Klukai and her team are on a mission and Callan was hoping you could send a squad over to back them up in case something dangerous happened. That way, you'll be making contact with them through the request posted on Numpha. Doing that shouldn't cause many problems. Got it. Give me the coordinates and I'll leave for it. Well, it's not too urgent. That mission's in preparation phase. Also, there's something else that's important. Like you said earlier, Helen needs to get to Lviv. Lviv? That's right. The non-military force administration has forces under its complete control there, including hospitals with comprehensive care units. However, Miss Callan wants to bring her in via the Intercontinental Railway. Sending her via the Elmo would attract too much attention. Considering our past experiences, it's not like the Intercontinental Railway is that much safer. Video posted on speed with this segment of dialogue? Wait, hang on. So video posted on speed with this segment of dialogue? On speed? Wait, are we making a joke? Last time, it was because there was a problem with the pickup at your destination. We'll make sure that doesn't happen again. But you didn't actually encounter any difficulties on your way there via train, right, Shiki-kun? Well, the Intercontinental Railway and the cities it passes through might not be 100% safe. At least the enemy won't be able to attack them openly. In comparison, moving through the contamination zone is riskier. So I won't lie, guys. I didn't realize we would just, like, immediately dust Satans. I thought she might have joined. No, we just decided to end her because she's a copy. Poor Satans, that confused Satans. Just immediately dead. I suppose that's true. Thing is, while I can ensure Helena's safety on the Elmo, I'm not confident of bringing her out without an adequate escort. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. There are tons of dolls everywhere who are willing to help you now. Who knows, you might end up encountering lots of friends on the view. Encounters, you say? I mean, a random encounter technically isn't a violation of the agreement, right? Of course, if you can get to Helena's safety, to safety, it's not like there's no way to deal with Mephisto. Am I correct in understanding that is a condition for the deal? Deal is such an ugly word. I have nothing but good intentions for you, Shiki-kan. The more you say that, the more I'm thinking there's some kind of pit trap waiting for me to fall into it. Of course, the right to decide is still in your hands. If you're satisfied with your lifestyle of running away, you're, of course, free to reject my offer. As long as you're really all right with that. Oh no, she's not dead. We're just gonna take her frame in neural clouds since she's technically a T-doll. Oh, we're just taking away her free will momentarily. She acts like that, but she's one of your more trusted supports. Dandelion? She's a good girl, not a bad girl? I frown, then finish the last of my coffee. Ooh. For some reason, that memory fills me with displeasure. Although I became used to Dandelion's attitude 10 years ago, I'm particularly irked by how she's acting this time around. I glance at my watch just as I think someone ought to be coming over. There's a ding from the lift. Shiki-kan! Mei-ling told me you wanted to see Helena, so I brought her here. Where's Mei-ling? A diner gate called her away. Apparently she needs to fix something. More of Dandelion's tricks. Never mind, I won't bother them for now. I focus my attention to Helena, who's in front of me. Although she just woke up, she doesn't look well. Helena, are you okay? Shiki-kan, just now. Scary. Felt like something was getting into my head. Like I was remembering something, but I can't remember what. As Helena's eyes fill up with tears, my hand moves down on its own to pat her head. Colgate, is there something wrong with Helena's body? Apart from bruises where Kerlik hit her, her vital signs have improved considerably. Still, Helena was acting a little strangely back then. There might be something that the Alamos equipment can't detect. Is that so? I think for a bit, then make up my mind. Helena. I wipe away Helena's tears and then speak to her. Don't be scared, Helena. I'll take you to a safe place this time. Of the patch for GFL2? Let's see. Girlfoot 2. Ooh. I don't know what time frame that is. Can someone translate that to EN or EST for me? It'll be a place where you'll never feel scared again. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna take a momentary break to breathe. I'm going to take a moment to catch my breath. We've been going hard at this for 30 minutes now. Well, we've kept up so far, though. The stream time. Yeah, I actually don't know what time that is supposed to be at. UTC -4. 21:30 UTC -4. A safe place? Yeah, safer than the Elmo even. Not true. Elmo is the safest. You don't believe me? Shiki-kan, I believe, but... Shiki-kan, are you gonna take Helena away from the Elmo? Yep, Kellen gave us a pickup point in Kiev. as you know, it's within the Nomfa sphere of influence, and it also has a place where Helena can get unwell, or can get treatment. So we need to get her there safely, ASAP. Yeah, the Elmo has a medical center, but we're not a hospital. In that case, sending Helena there would definitely be better help for her. March 11th, 9:30 p.m. EST. Okay. Good night, Leslie. Sleep well. So 9:30 p.m. EST is when it's at. Oh, I'll see if I can make it. I'll see. However, if you're in the city, Helena might end up suffering again. That's definitely an issue. I'll need to head back and consult with Lena on a solution to that. If you made up your mind, then I'll go with you. After all, I am a medical doll, and if anything happens to Helena along the way, I can deal with it immediately. Colgate, are you coming too? Yep, I need to accompany Helena. That way you'll feel at ease. After hearing Colgate's words, Helena's a lot happier. Yay! Colgate is great. I like Colgate. So don't worry about a thing. We'll head out with you, Shiki-kun. Shiki-kun, is this really alright? Just leave it to me. I'll make sure you'll be fine. Helena remains silent for a long while before she finally nods and agrees to my request. I'll give Helena some anti-degeneration medicine. Then give her another checkup. I don't know why I got whiplash when you called her Colgate. Dude, I'm trying to call it a Colfine or Colfine, but my mind just immediately jumps to Colgate. Good point. Take care, Helena, then. Colfine nods, then leads Helena out of the room with a smile on her face. I exhale and think, then I pick up my communicator. What do you think, Taicho? My opinion is the same as before. Helena was exposed to Nito, so we can't ensure her safety with our present firepower. Since Miss Kalina has made arrangements to receive Helena, we should send her to her destination and complete the assignments ASAP. Finish it ASAP. Oh. I rub my temples. I know what Gyoza is trying to say without her having to actually put it into words. Maybe forgetting about the past would make things easier for me, but for some reason, I know that I can't do that. I tell Groza what's on my mind. As expected, she expresses her opposition to my idea. Shiki-kun, we have a few dolls on hand. Carrying out 2 missions at once may be difficult. We wouldn't be able to support 404 if we cover both you and Helena. Meeting up with Squad 404 would be an excellent opportunity for us. They're very good fighters and would greatly improve our combat capabilities. Then, Helena, my plan is that Colgate and... oh my god, whatever. Colgate and Helena will travel along the route. Lena gave us while you stay behind and secure the Elmo. According to Lena, 404's situation isn't too urgent, so we'll back them up once we finish escorting Helena. So you don't need me to escort you, Shiki-kun? No, there's no need for that. We still have Satan's on the Elmo, and we don't know what her deal is, so I can't be at ease if you're not on the Elmo. Also, some firearms will be troublesome once we enter the city, which will make strengths very hard to employ. Someone like Colfine, who's good at interacting with humans, is better suited for the task of escorting Helena. Dandelion is encrypting Satan's neural cloud, but it'll take some time to finish. We can use this time to hurry over to the train station. Gyoza doesn't reply right away, unlike how she would normally. I suddenly realized what I said might have made her unhappy. However, Gyoza's not silent for long. She speaks to me in a moment. Understood, Shiki-kun. Let me do the planning. Groan. Ah. Okay, give me a second to catch both my breath, my speaking and stuff like that. I had like some discomfort going, so I couldn't talk. Behold, burger of cheese. Did you do your plug yet? I did not. Guys, thanks for watching the content. If you enjoy it, please giving it a like and a sub, as it helps the channel out so much. And if you guys like, there's a Discord in the description where we talk about a bunch of fun stuff and where I keep up to date on all of my girl foot somethings. So, yay! Very fun. Very, very fun. So yes, the fallen doll's neural cloud seems to have successfully rebooted. She shakes his head, then struggles to prop herself up. Diane gently helps her into a sitting position. Are you all right? I think I'm fine. Oh, it was Colgate and Helena. Where am I? You're just outside an intercontinental railway station. What's your name? My name is Colfine. The doll, called Colgate, comes to her senses. Then she seems to realize something and begins casting a searching gaze around herself. On the foot part? No. Shiki-kan! Helena! Helena? Shiki-kan? There's nobody around except the dolls. Colgate looks like she's about to cry. Diane looks just as shocked as Jung-yu, but she patiently waits for Colgate to calm down. The last thing I remember is the Boojum charging at me. Did you guys save me? The Boojum was gone by the time we arrived, and Big Sis helped reboot your neural cloud. I see. I don't know how to thank you for your help. We were just doing what we had to. The important thing is that you're okay. About the Shiki-kan you mentioned, could you tell me about them? The Shiki-kan? Why are you asking about the Shiki-kan? Perhaps the Shiki-kan you're talking about is the same one we know. We might be able to help each other out. Can you tell me more about this person so we can verify them? I didn't know the Shiki-kan had so many old friends. Colgate mutters to herself. These people don't seem like a bad lot, and she does need help. After some soul searching, Colgate agrees. The Shiki-kan is the person who commands us. That was completely inaccurate and 100% useless. Yes, I should be saying this. The Shiki-kan is a bounty hunter who drives a mobile vehicle base and takes assignments from all over the place. Although they hardly make any money. The MVV... Is this MVV called Elmo? How did you know that? Diane and Jung-yu exchange looks. Could it be? It seems like it. Colgate. Oh, Colgate. We were once tactical dolls who served under the Shiki-kan of Griffin and Kruger's PMC. Griffin, does that mean you used to be subordinates of the Shiki-kan? Upon hearing Colgate's words, Diane is now certain she's talking about the very same Shiki-kan that she knows. That's right. Pardon me for not introducing myself. My name is Diane, and this is my little sister, known as Jung-yu. We used to be tactical dolls from Griffin. This is Xiao Hui. Well, not from Griffin. She's a very reliable friend of ours. Jung-yu and Xiao Hui wave to Colgate. So please, believe us when we say that we wish to help you. Miss Colgate, can you tell me what happened just now? Colgate glances at the dolls and decides to believe them. Then she quickly explains what happens. We were attacked by an unknown force on our way to the train station, and as we were exchanging fire with them, a Boojum appeared. I think I passed out. I think my frame would have been shredded. I certainly didn't expect all my functions to be normal. There were 3 floating spheres around you. They flew away when we approached you. Floating spheres? Did Helena save me? Helena? You mentioned that name too, in addition to the Shiki-kan. Who is that? Why is... Hold on a second. Guys, is Jung-yu a tsundere? Why is there something as fancy as an automated defense system here? I can't tell you that. Colgate shakes her head. She clearly doesn't trust him. Huh? But wait, I gotta do like a acrylic. Huh? But we saved your life! Diane looks at Colgate and realizes that further questioning is pointless. Moreover, there are other, more pressing questions that she wants to ask. Machito is the tsundere Dang it. Then what is she? Like fiery, bratty sister? Leaving that aside for a moment, do you know where the Shikikan is now? The Shikikan managed to avoid the Bujim's attack altogether just now. I'm sure that the Shikikan would look for Helena if they were alright. Maybe the two of them are together. Can we track their location? Yes, we can. I planted a tracker on Helena. Colgate fiddles with the terminal and the sounds it makes are something. Thank goodness, it's working fine. Hang on, Helena's actually pretty close by. At this location, it's underground. Colgate doesn't wait for the dolls to answer before she runs off. The group finally catches up with Colgate, and after passing the broken quarantine wall, Colgate goes a good long way before she finally comes to a halt. There is a wrecked shutter leading underground at the location where Colgate stood. The shutter is built under a small hill. Half of it is below ground level, and it's practically invisible from afar. The shutter's outer camouflage has been blasted to bits. It was once the size of a cinema theater screen, but now it's nothing but ruined fragments that have been blasted inward, as though something huge had torn through it. Look at all this ripping and tearing. Did the Bujin flee in there? That's a weird slime in there. Looks like it went through there. Those spheres flew off in this way too. The Bujin might have brought Helena here, but with her defense system, Helena ought to be fine. Colgate wrings her hands, doing her best not to let her thoughts wander the worse. Diane pats her shoulder, calming her down. Miss Colgate, things will be alright. Besides, the Shikikan's here, right? Yeah. Colgate nods. She quietly mouths words in her heart until she can calm down and function normally. Hello? The dolls approach the destroyed shutter. The interior is spacious. This underground entrance, it has got to be some kind of shady facility. Looks like a secret passage built to smuggle people past the quarantine wall. My mic kind of cuts off when I do the softer voice. Thank you, Shiroe. I'll get a little closer when I'm doing that one. Just a tad, teensy-weensy bit closer. I'll remember to do that, so I'll get a little closer. Okay. Why is the secret passage so big? It's big enough for vehicles to pass through, and considering how close it is to the train station, it must have been built by a very powerful broker. Can underground brokers really do that? How do you think they transport really big pieces of merchandise? All this can't be a coincidence. Diane remembers the reminder that the railway officer gave them. That, combined with the fact that anything involving the Shikikan is bound to be complicated, makes her think that they need to be exceptionally careful when making their next move. Is this Helena's location in the depths of this passage? From the coordinates, they seem to be far below us, but they can't. Underground, something. Oh my god. I know I have no rights to ask this of you, but could you please help me find the Shikikan and Helena? Diane looks at the pleading look in Colgate's eyes and then at her two companions. Looks like your instincts are as accurate as ever, Diane. Of course. I'm overjoyed to see the Shikikan again. Diane turns back and nods to Colgate, replying in affirmative. If we can help the Shikikan, then we will certainly be inclined to help you. Please guide us to them. Thank you. Colgate gazes in the black depths of the passage and struggles to swallow the fear in her heart. Then she sends the coordinates to Diane and company before turning on her flashlight and venturing for it. I sit down in front of the control terminal and think about my next move. With Satans and Nemesis on the Elmo, there's no way Gyoza can leave it, even if she isn't happy about it. However, there seems to be something strange about Gyoza's expression, especially when I was discussing the past with her. Still, she's the doll team leader, so she ought to be able to handle it. This is some long voice acting. Props to Hayami. Thank you! But I'm not professionally trained, so I drop it every now and then. I can't keep up. We'll need some combat power to account for any sudden developments. The other dolls are way too flashy, which means the best choice is Colgate. 8.75 is longer. GFL cutscenes are like MGS cutscene long. And I'm gonna be playing MGS soon. Oh, okay. just that. With Girlfoot too, you just kind of have to be, well, like, there's just a lot to read. And this is kind of why I was like, I want to wait for Amidst Wings of Grey to come back with what's it called? With, what's it called? Voice acting, so I didn't have to do it. This conclusion I reach is that I can rely on my own flexibility and Callan's resources to take care of things in the city, but in the contamination zone, Squad 404 needs fire support from the dolls. I lightly tap the table with my knuckles and decide to split our forces up in the end. I scratch my head, then sigh heavily. The familiar pressure that plagued me once plagued me returns. I hate having to choose between a rock and a hard place like this. Have you made up your... Oh. Have you made up your mind? Dandelion's voice comes from a strange place. I look around, then see there's a dynagate floating in the air right on top of my head. Since when did you gain a fetish of sleeving into dynagates? Oh! I felt disgusting saying that! The floating dynagate that was originally intended to be a smart navigator for Elmo flies a little lower, but I still need to look up to see it. Even in Dynagate's body, this aura of smug superiority is uniquely Dandelion's. And whose fault is it that there aren't any usable frames on the Elmo? Now I have to lower myself to using this body. Lower myself? Who the heck even says that? Still, being able to float around like this feels nice. Looks like the stuff I left behind back then has been pretty good performance. With just a click modification, it can interface with beacon signals. Now that I can contact the Elmo, no matter how far away you are. So you're saying you're gonna head out in the Dynagate form to Lviv? Well, if I stayed on the Elmo by myself, I'm sure you'd be so worried about me taking it for a joyride and leaving you homeless. Oh yeah, I can totally see you doing that. However, I rise from my place in front of the command console and keep my eyes trained on the Dynagate. The Dynagate backs off a little to keep its distance and projects a hologram of Dandelion as though she's standing in front of me having a conversation. Why are you looking for me now of all times? It's already been 10 years, right? What? Did you miss me? Did you think I was too late? I just learned that Paradius wasn't completely destroyed, and right after that you show up. The timing seems like too much of a coincidence to me. You're still as sharp as ever, even though you're just wasting away here in the boonies for 10 years. I don't bother keeping up with the banter for her. Instead, I want her to continue speaking. Shiki-kun, why did you throw away everything and abandon everyone for 10 years? You should know the reason why. Of course. Because you didn't want to get your hands dirty. But you do know that doing so cost you the ability to change things, right? Is that really okay? A lot of people think what you did was incredibly stupid. They believe that if you had just continued on your previous path, you'd be in a position of power now, instead of being bullied by Verjaegers in the Yellow Zone. Do you think they're right? Rogate. Is Rogate supposed to be Dandelion Gate? Oh my god. Whatever the Shikigan said. Yes, no, whatever. Why it's not ASMR, it's Dandelion's voice. At first, I thought you couldn't put up with the injustice for long, but now 10 years have passed, blink of an eye, and you've endured shame that normal people would not have been able to bear, with no intention of compromising in the slightest. been a fan of writing that does this thing. We need to keep saying X years ago so the audience doesn't forget. Like, just say back then or something, please. I don't fully mind. Maybe Dandelion's like stressing it a ton. Because of your sacrifice, all the people under you, humans and dolls, ended up living pretty good lives. I was not expecting to hear those words from you. Are you trying to persuade me to go back? Of course not. You'd thoroughly resent me if I did. Dang straight. However, it seems that you couldn't achieve your original aim, despite going rogue to do it, and the target you were truly aiming for was never exposed. The time was not yet ripe over the past 10 years, but now she has come to see me, so perhaps it is time for everything to be turned around. She, you say? Yes, even if you don't believe me, you can believe her, right? I hesitate briefly, but in the end, I ask the question in my heart. And what does she want me to do? Dandelion smiles and shakes her head before raising a finger to her lips. She is a silent observer. The important thing is, what do you want to do? Leaving aside that pointless hatred, leaving aside that meaningless humiliation, what do you want to do after stagnating for 10 years? Dandelion looks into my eyes and I meet her gaze. There seems to be an inescapable power in them, forcing me to remember something I've been trying to forget. Or do you think not doing anything at all would be the best choice? It's obviously not the best choice, but right now, do I have grounds to reply like that? The communicator beeps. I hesitate for a moment, but pick it up. Shiki-kan, the battle plan and combat supplies are ready. Do you want to conduct the briefing? I glance at Dandelion. She shrugs, then cuts off the diner gate's hollow projection, as we'll have time to discuss these things later. I shake my head, then take a deep breath before giving Gyoza orders. Alright, have them come to the ops room. The drone takes off from the Elmo's landing pad, and soon the massive Elmo is nothing more than a tiny speck on the ground. Helena and Colgate are on one side of the drone, while the box form of Helena transformed defense systems and I are on the other side. Inside the diner gate's body, Dandelion sprawls over a nearby crate. She taps its surface curiously as though looking for a way to open it. Ooh. RO365. Gosh dang, she's cute. She's a little diner gate too. She's so cute. Oh, okay. The drone pierces through the cloud cover and the air begins to clear up. I take off the gas mask and the morning sunlight is slightly dazzling as it illuminates my face. However, it is not an unpleasant feeling. On the contrary, I actually like it. I turn to look at Colgate. She's looking at Helena to adjust her safety belt. Meanwhile, Helena is looking around curiously. All this is new to her. That's just as well. I was worried Helena would be afraid of flying, but my worries seem to be unfounded. Just as I think this, I hear Mailing's voice over my earpiece. Shiki-kan, we're in cruise mode now. We'll be half an hour away from our destination, the Intercontinental Railway Transfer Station. Make sure you fly us well, Mailing. It took me a long time to get the drone back into flying condition. Of course I will, Shiki-kan. The drone will touch down some distance away from the train station. Miss Dandelion said she upgraded the diner gate's functions, so you can use the beacon's comm systems to contact the Elmo at any time. Got it. Thanks, Mailing. I'll be counting on you. I'll end the transmission and turn back to diner gate that's engaged in amusing itself. I suddenly realize that this isn't an upgrade at all. I mean, you're basically just making use of permissions to access the URNC beacon channels, right? Oh, if it really bothers you, I'm using public property for private purposes. I can always get an RKN to send you the bill for long-distance broadband network signal. Sounds like this diner gate before me would make a killing if it's sold to underground brokers. Think it would cover the bill? Even if you sell me off, you'll never be rid of me. Let's talk about something else instead. Sure, such as... For instance, how much do you know about Helena? Well, the information we collected beforehand already suggested it. I suspect that she's not a fully immune individual. Well, the only thing we can be certain of is that she's related to Paradeus in some way. Surely, you're not entirely ignorant of this, right? Oh, am I really that all-seeing and powerful in your eyes? Unfortunately, I'm not as idle as you, Shiki-kun. While you were slacking off for 10 years, working on the development of maintenance of URNRC's automated internal planning and management system. How's that? Impressive, huh? So, tell me, oh endlessly busy Madame Dandelion, who is involved in great endeavors, where do you find the time to come down here and cosplay as a diner gate? Dandelion really said, I mean, you're not a complete dingus, right? Yeah? Thought Mop Jr. Steed? That's because I have a capable junior who's my pride and joy. Don't forget. Don't forget. OGAS is completely good. I have no idea what she said. I'm just trying to keep up now. I upgraded daughter forks of my virtual cognition image and had them learn and grow until they became autonomous intelligences who could work on my behalf. So you created a few clones of yourself in order to slack off? Shiki-kun, I am in awe of how you can do something so complex and grand to banal triviality in just a few short words. Oh, you're making me blush. Back then, even your NC's top brass had to queue for a whole week just to meet me. Goodness, there might not be anyone in all the UNRC who could have instead do this for me. Huh, is that so? Want to know how I did it? I'm a bit clueless about technical stuff. I'll bet Persica would love to talk shop with you, though. What a shame. Let's discuss something else. You surprisingly make a great sassy character. You just have to embody sassiness, that's it. You just have to embody it. Feel it within your bones. In short, while I've lost certain authorizations and permissions, I don't need to remain stuck in the central hub system anymore. And while I don't know much about Helena, the device over here is most interesting. Is this an automated defensive system? Yep. It's made with an extremely high grade. Its makeup is also very interesting. The internal barrier design is very unique to the point where I tried to crack it to see what's inside. What happens if you get in? I'll be able to control the defense system, like I do for this diner gate, of course. So after cosplaying diner gates, Dandelion's gonna cosplay a box next? Well, the notion comes to mind. I decide not to speak it out loud, lest I get scolded. This defense system is very powerful. It'd help out a lot if you could control it. Aw. The diner gate's eyes, like main camera whirs and narrows, as if it's got some kind of wicked idea. I'll hold off for the moment, then. We can't have you getting into the habit of relying on others and becoming lazy. Shiki-kun. Thank you. Once again, I turn to look at Helena. Colgate's head is down as she's checking her systems. I hit the PTT on my communicator twice to indicate that she should patch into the channel, and Colgate obliges. What's wrong, Shiki-kun? Helena seems to be spending a lot of time out of the contaminations this time around. Is she alright? I brought some nutrient supplements along. They ought to help keep her body functioning. Also, I modified my remolding pattern. Now I can dispense cloud particles for Helena to absorb. Miss Lena also promised us that we would be in places in the city along the way, and we could treat Helena's condition. She'll coordinate with us as we move. Good. We need to be prepared. Oh, Helena begins gesticulating wildly upon seeing Colgate talk to me. Although I can't make out what she's saying over the roar of the engine, it's immediately obvious what she's trying to tell me. Oh, okay. Oh, alright. Take a quick break. Take a quick break before we keep on going. Remember, take breaks as we go. Take breaks as we go. Ha, 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 ho. Okay. Oh. Shiki-kun, sky, pretty, not like on the ground. If all collapse contamination were cleared away, we'd see this on the surface too. I see. So when cleared away? That is a mystery. Surely the great, mighty UNRC can finish that task someday. Helena tilts her head from where she's sitting on the other side of the drone. Perhaps this topic was too complicated for her, but she decides just to skip over it entirely. Feels like going out on holiday. Do you know what a holiday is? No, I don't. Colgate taught me. I knew it. A holiday. That's a wonderful word that's unconnected to my current station. Colgate, have you ever been on a holiday? As if dolls can go on holiday. I read it on the book. However, the Shiki-kun can take us all on a holiday in the future. Holiday, holiday, everyone holiday. If only we had the money for that. Helena seems to be in good spirits today. That's because you're here, Shiki-kun. Helena has always enjoyed being around you. It's like you've gotten a daughter, even though you haven't tied the knot yet. Quiet, you. Dandelion seizes the opportunity to slip the conversation and begins telling me all about my various dorky scandals from Griffin until they're doubled over in laughter. Thanks, Dandelion. Very cool. I quickly change the subject, clearly because I'm worried about how I'll fall off the drone. Dandelion then talks about her previous missions. They're so shocked by the tale of dolls, battles, and sacrifices that they can't even speak. This time, I don't interrupt her. I silently listen as Dandelion narrates the past and the faces of people around me something. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't keep going back, but I will do my best to try and summarize what was said. The drone is flying serenely through the sky, and the sky is slowly brightening from the pink of dawn. At great length, well, let me specify. I will go back if it's super duper important, but I'll try to summarize what was said in the event that it moves a little too quick. If I try to go back, it puts me off center, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of it to it, but I'm keeping up. Colgate's voice sounds a little choked up over the comm channel. I didn't know you went through all that, Shiki-kun. It was all in the past. Shiki-kun, amazing. I'm not that amazing. There you go, Shiki-kun. You get embarrassed when a girl praises you, even when it's a young one doing it. That sounds really wrong. Do you... Bye, y'all. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I need something to be playing in the background so no one can clip this or sound clip this from me. Do you like them young, Shiki-kan? Oh, not necessarily. I believe the Shiki-kan's preferences are very comprehensive. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so indecisive on the particular topic. Hey, I reach out and try to grab Dandelion gate, but she nimbly evades me. She hovers just out of reach of my arm's maximum attention, and as I'm still secured in my seat, all I can do is glower impotently at her to indicate my displeasure. Shiki-kan, we're almost there. Please remember to put on your mask. Got it. All right, everyone settle down and prepare to descend. Ailing's voice draws me back to my task, and after hearing her, the others stop messing around too. I put my mask on and signal to everyone. Colgate checks her safety belt, then helps Helena check hers, while the Dandelion attaches itself securely to the defense systems box. The drone slowly sinks into the cloud cover. Although I can't see the surface, I have a feeling that we're not far from the destination. Got cancelled after the Dandelion Gate scandal? Dude, same. Just as I prepared for the descent, Colgate's voice reaches my ear, and my terminal indicates its private transmission. Shiki-kan, if Helena gets cured during this trip to Lviv, well, probably not. Someone will protect her and take her to a safer place. It will be so lonely then. For a moment, I'm at a loss to how to respond. After brief silence, Colgate continues speaking. In the story Dandelion told just now, you saved a lot of people, so it's the same as well this time? We saved her, right? I'm briefly at a loss for words. There are a lot of people I didn't manage to save. That's what I want to say, but even though I open my mouth, I can't bring myself to say those words. I reflexively looks at Helena, but she has none of her excitement from before. In fact, she seems to be in a daze. Colgate also notices Helena's unusual behavior. Helena, are you okay? Are you not feeling well? There's a voice. Helena does not answer Colgate's question. Oh, I can hear her muttering quietly to herself over the channel. Just as I'm about to speak to her, the drone suddenly starts shaking violently, and I immediately realize it's caused by the shaking of the box inside me. What's going on? Shiki-kan, the defense system is changing form. The Dandelion breaks free of its attachment and flies into midair to avoid being crushed. There's a voice that sounds the same as me. It sounds familiar. It's like before. This time, it doesn't hurt. Did something happen to Helena? It looks like she can hear something that we can't. Helena, what's with you? Colgate looks worriedly at Helena, but Helena ignores her, instead gazing into the depths of the clouds. Here. The box instantly transforms into the 3 spheres, and I hurry to grab the Dynagate as the shockwave transformation tosses it aside. The spheres fly over to Helena, slice her free of her safety belts, and carry her into the air. Colgate tries to grab her, but Helena nimbly avoids her. After glancing coldly at Colgate, Helena flies free of the drone, ensconced by the embrace within the embrace of her spheres, swiftly disappearing into the clouds. The disruption from the spheres make the drones shake violently, and I hold on tight to the handrails to try to keep my balance. Shiki-kan, what happened? The drone suddenly lost flight stability. Helena, she flew away. Flew away? The unbalanced drone goes into a flat spin. I glance at the propeller next to me and see that it's constantly shifting its pitch and orientation. Clearly, Mei Ling is doing her best to keep the drone aloft. All I can do now is let Mei Ling handle things. I hold onto the handrail for dear life, and blood surging into my brain makes me feel like I'm going to puke my guts out. Shiki-kan! Hold on tight. Don't fall off. Through the corner of my narrowed eyes, I see Colgate clinging for dear life to the handrails. The wind is blowing so hard I can barely open my eyes. I channel all my strength into sticking the diner gate to the drone so I can free up a hand to cling ever tighter to the handrail. Pull up! Pull up! Mei-Ling yells over the comm channels. I've never heard her yell that loud before. Perhaps her angry yelling had an effect because the drone manages to adjust its propeller's pitch. As we regain lift, the drone clambers hard? At long last, the drone's flight path levels out and my blood begins flowing normally again. I take big gulps of air as I try to recover from my stress state. Everything happened far too suddenly, and we're all confused. However, I know my current priority is getting Helena back. Well done, Mei-Ling. Shiki-kun, are you alright? I'll take more killing yet. Colgate, can you track Helena's location? Just in case I had Colgate put a tracker on Helena, I would have expected that it would come in handy even before we touched down. Hang on, I can still track her. Send Mei-Ling the coordinates. Mei-Ling, take over. Take us there. Okay. Mei-Ling, can you see the coordinates? Helena's position is constantly changing. I need you to keep refreshing the location data. Got it. Leave it to me. The drone immediately changes course and begins flying in another direction. My brain kicks into high gear. Was our information leaked? Are we going to get ambushed again? But this time, it was Helena herself who did it. Or does the problem lie with Helena? She can hear something that we can't. Perhaps Helena has something in common with the Nitos we've seen before. Diner gate that's attached to the drone looks my way. Her tone isn't as teasing as before, which is a sign of Dandelion's reliable side. Oops. I thought so too. When we first received her, the words Helena 043 were written inside her box logs. Can you help me gather information on that? I'm on it, but I don't have much processing power bandwidth, so it'll take some time. Alrighty. Alright, I'll leave it to you. Mei-Ling's skillful piloting and drone's high flight speed quickly brings us to the area. Looking down, we can see a glow from Helena's spheres in the distance. There are flashes coming from the ground where Helena's firing. I squint and see an intense firefight taking place against a not-too-large monster. Is that a boojum? Mei-Ling, head for the boojum. Descend as you go. Once we reach 100 meters AGL, begin orbiting the boojum so we can observe the situation. Will do, Shiki-kun. The drone rapidly descends, and after going lower, I can get a clearer picture of the situation on the ground. Oh, the not-too-large boojum has just flipped over a vehicle belonging to a squad of armed troops, and the forces around it are blasting it with weapons of various calibers. The boojum is heavily wounded from the attacks, but it does not move from its place, as though it's protecting something. It's located in what seems like a small town, but the small town seems to have been abandoned for a long time, and the ravages of war have only made it more run down. The point of light representing Helena is flying over to the boojum. We try to follow it, but some of the armed troopers firing on the boojum actually turn and shoot at the drone instead. Bullets whiz past my ear. With no recourse available to me, I have to ask Mei-Ling to pull up. What the heck is with these people? We'll land first. Mei-Ling, circle around to see they can't hit us and then set us down. I'm on it! Now searching for a landing site. The point of light containing Helena is now extremely close to the boojum, but we are forced to land further away due to gunfire from the ground. Mei-Ling picks up a fairly high clod of dirt as her landing spot. Before she can fully touch down, I've ripped my safety belt and jumped from the drone. Colgate and Diner Gate follow me. The troops who saw the drone land begin to encircle us, and I'm forced to draw my sidearm to engage them. Dang it. This is not at all what I was expecting. Things don't look good, Shiki-kun. Don't worry. Compared to the Shiki-kun's previous encounters, this wouldn't even rate number 5 on the things that don't look on the scale. Plus, we haven't gotten to Snafu, Tarfu, and Fubar categories yet. What a shocker! Is that true? That's enough smug out of you. How are the surroundings? We've got about 20 hostiles approaching. Let's see if your skills have dulled over the past 10 years. 20 of them. I'll manage. Can you do anything besides scouting and scanning? Well, as you can see, I am currently just a feeble Dynagate. The only thing that separates me from other Dynagates is the fact that I can fly. Oh. Naturally, I already sent a distress signal to the dolls who can help us, but then you would have to wait half a day for them to arrive, no? What a great help you are. Half a day means he'll have a lot of time to find my colliding corpse. Collapsing corpse? Corroding corpse? Dying corpse. 20 enemies and it's just like Mondays. Oh, even if the drone went back right away to pick up Gyos and others, they'd take at least 2 hours to arrive. Looks like I can only rely on myself right now. I look at my handgun and regret not bringing something with longer range, but there's no point thinking about that right now. Since the enemy doesn't know about the situation, our only chance is to hammer them hard and throw them off balance. Colgate, get ready for battle. Dandelion, keep up. The enemy's been beaten back, Shiki-kun. What should we do now? Follow me. Keep advancing. As I look in Helena's direction, I see a distant point of flashing in all directions. Helena's automatic defense systems are firing wildly at unarmed units. The Bujim isn't far from Helena, but it does look like it intends to attack her. Her defense systems are laying down suppressive fire on her attackers. The Bujim takes advantage of this and rampages wildly, knocking over multiple vehicles armed with heavy weapons. While I picked up a rifle from the enemy along the way, it's a little more than a drop in a bucket considering the situation we're facing. I have no idea what might happen next, and I don't have resources on hand. All I can do is stick and cover Helena's location. As I see the Dynagate orbiting my head, I think of something. Dandelion, you said you could break through the barriers of the defensive system, right? If you can bring me within 50 meters of them, I can force a connection to those systems. How confident are you of doing that? Well, the Dynagate has limited processing power, and considering I'll have to do it remotely, I guess there's about 50% chance of success. That's enough. Mei-Ling, can you observe Helena's surroundings from the drone? Sure, I can see everything. Helena's still engaging. With the armed troops on the ground, she's slowly taking them out. Find me a path that's free of enemies. We need to get as close to Helena as possible. Okay, right away. A route soon appears on my terminal. I pick up another rifle from the ground and toss it to Colgate. Use this for now. It's handier than a pistol. Just hose the enemy down with suppressive fire. We need to buy Dandelion time. Okay. Well, is this really what you're like fighting in person, Commander? I won't lie. Having the Shiki-kun fight in person is pretty cool. If you've got better ideas, now's the best time to bring them up. No, I don't. Then follow me. Dandelion, we'll need scans of surroundings for enemies. Mark any hostiles that approach us. Feels just like old times. The Dynagate flies quick ahead of us and clears out a path. With Mei-Ling's directions and Dandelion highlighting the positions, we quickly eliminate the scattered troops that we encounter. After passing through an open area, Colgate and I jump into a pit that's deep enough to provide us cover. This place isn't far from Helena. The Bujim's deafening roars remind us of how close we are to danger. Worse still, greenish clouds are closing in from a distance. Shiki-kun. Oh, Shiki-kun, there's an incoming collapse! Dandelion, we're moving in to hack the defense systems. Can you control them and bring Helena down? It won't be hard once I gain privileges over them. Alright, bring Helena on top of the building there afterwards. I point to a nearby abandoned building. It is within 50 meters of Helena. Colgate, cover me. I'll go there to get to Helena. No, Shiki-kun, let me go! Just as I'm about to jump out of the pit, Colgate grabs me by the sleeve and pulls me back in. The Bujim's too close. It's too dangerous for you, Shiki-kun. And besides, protecting Helena is my duty. Shiki-kun, you should stay here and give me commands. You're just one doll. It's not like commanding you is going to be difficult. I check my ammo. I have 2 magazines left, including the one I picked up on the way here. We should focus on firepower. Come on, let's go. Okay. Wow, you're brave. I like that. Just keep up. Fortunately, there aren't many troops left in the area and we can pass through practically unhindered. Soon we're inside the building. It's only 2 stories high and half of it has already collapsed. I kick open the rotten wooden door on the top floor and we arrive on the roof. We aren't too high up, but it's enough for us to see Helena's side. Dandelion, I'm counting on you. Roger, roger. The diner gate that has been accompanying us fly towards Helena. Boojum is right beside her. Perhaps it's afraid of its defense systems. Oh my god. Okay. But it's been keeping outside of their light. Helena remains motionless in midair, as though she's lost consciousness. The diner gate rapidly approaches Helena, and as they sense the approach of an interloper, the autonomous defenses flare with light and begin firing deadly beams at the diner gate. However, Dandelion's hacking is severely disrupting the enemy systems. As she approaches the diner gate, the diner gate easily avoids the fired beams. Holy frick. The spheres begin to waver and they stop shooting. The diner gate boldly flies up in the air. This girl. I will save you. I will save you. Who's she talking to? The orbs shake harder and harder. Their firewalls are unable to resist Dandelion's hacking, and in the space of a few seconds, Dandelion has assumed direct control over the defense systems. Do you have any friends that you can't abandon, Aya? I can't leave them behind. In any case, just come back to us first. Dandelion controls the orbs, then brings them and Helena back to the building, where we are. Colgate can't help but exclaim in approval. I can't believe she took care of it in an instant. Well, it is Dandelion after all. Looks like you owe me again, Shiki-kun. Helena isn't far from us now. Colgate is at an observation point preparing to retrieve her. Helena is still looking at the Boojum, then she gives voice to a heart-rending wail to the point where even I can't hear what she's saying. No! I can't leave those kids behind! Helena is screaming things that don't sound at all like what she would say. They hit me like an invisible shockwave, even making me feel a little dizzy. In the distance, the Boojum seems to hear Helena's cry and immediately abandons its battle with the armed troops, rushing towards us at incredible speeds. What? Hurry! Faster! The diner gate leads Helena towards us, flying faster than her. Colgate throws her rifle aside and spreads her arm in a defensive posture, ready to physically cushion the impact of Helena's fall with her body. However, the Boojum emits a blood-curdling scream. Oh, we're not gonna make it in time! As she sees that the Boojum is about to crash in the building, Colgate throws me out of the building with all of her might. In the moment of weightlessness, and the Boojum's massive body crashes in the building, swallows up Colgate and Helena's forms. Uh-oh. I hit the ground hard, and with the last of my stamina, I see the Boojum winding between the buildings and heading into the distance. Shiki-kun, are you alright? Shiki-kun, can you hear me? I hear Mei-ling frantically hailing me through the earpiece, but I'm out of strength to answer and my thinking grinds to a halt. They're all gone. Those guys were really strong. Everyone, are you alright? Damage is minimal, it shouldn't be a problem. Fortunately, they didn't have too many people. It would have been troublesome if they came in the same number as the Jaegers. Colgate said something about this before, so maybe that's why we're not the only people left? Oh, that's certainly possible. These people are much better fighters than the Jaegers, and They've got very good gear. Zhao Hui scrutinizes their equipment, trying to find some hint as to their identities. They don't have any identifying marks on them beyond the Mengi security logo on their armor. Their weapons are all new. They've got full set of accessories. Their armors are equipped with air filters. You can tell right away they're designed for use in contamination zones. But they're speaking just now, so are those dead people in that armor? Just to confirm, Diane takes the helmet off one of the troopers who was killed. He's been shot in the head. The inside of the helmet is covered with blood and gore. Though it's grisly, there's no doubt that he was alive until recently. They're probably standard PMC fighters. But normal PMCs wouldn't go up against the Shikikan, right? Speaking of which, why were they trying to capture Helena? I'm not sure either. They just shot us at us out of nowhere. Perhaps they're working with the previous faction that was trying to kidnap Helena. Wait, there are other people trying to get Helena? Going into the details might take a while. In any case, the Shikikan got the assignment to escort Helena from a person called Kalina, and people have been trying to kidnap Helena all this while. Miss Kalina, you say? Diane and Jiang Yu look surprised. Is Kalin involved in this too? If it's an assignment from Miss Kalina and she gave it to the Shikikan to carry out, then it must be very important. Miss Colgate, why don't we head to that location ASAP? Yeah, it's over here. Colgate tracks the signal on her terminal, and as the signal begins moving, she spots a cargo elevator nearby. Elevator isn't very big, with only half-height fences for cover. The dolls get onto the elevator, which groans with a thunderous bass roar as it slowly descends with them on it. Big sis, doesn't this remind you of that one mission we went on back in Griffin? Yeah, if I'm not wrong, we were at a submarine base. We were fighting on the base perimeter back then, but this time we get to go on an elevator ride. You seem happy. I'm trying to lighten the mood, okay? Colgate looks into the depths of the pitch-black tunnel without saying a word. She understands that everyone has connections. However, the blinking icon in her communicator tells Helena is somewhere below her, and thus she must keep going. After realizing her attempt at cheering everyone up has failed, Jiang Yu doesn't say anything else. The dolls began watching the surroundings in case they're ambushed. The sub-base, however, nothing happens. As the elevator descends, a strange smell fills the air. Freakish-looking vegetation made the meat grows rampant on the corridors on the other side of the lift. Exposed cabling emerges from the plants and snakes everywhere. Perhaps she's just imagining things, but as they continue downward, the surrounding temperature seems to get lower. The collapsed particle intensity in this place is rising. Yeah, I can feel it. Colgate's terminal screen is coated in frost. She tries to wipe it off and sees that the height of the target coordinates are slowly matching up with her own position. Suddenly, the lift arrives at the bottom level with a doink, and the huge gates before her slowly grind open. Is this a warehouse? Looks like a pretty messed up warehouse to me. Ugh. Countless square glass tanks that are half the height of a person are piled up messily against the walls of the room. The ones on the left contain some unidentifiable plant, while the ones on the right hold various twisted bodies. The tanks are engraved with what appears to be some kind of spell incantation on them, and the walls are covered in indescribable designs, but the dolls immediately recognize one of them. Yes. That symbol is one that no Griffin doll could ever forget. Colgate can't help but cover her mouth as she sees what's happening around her, and Zhao Hui frowns from her place off to the side. We were the missing people that the police officer was talking about. Were the missing people that the police officer was talking about all taken here? A single transfer station wouldn't have that much capacity. They must have been brought here from various locations. I can't believe there were so many. It's this Paradise. Colgate finally realizes why the Shikikan was acting so strange now, and she tightens her grip on her weapon. Disgust churns in the depths of her neural cloud. Collapsed particles are emitted from plants, but why are they placed these corpses? Perhaps they're just trying to pickle. Jiangyu immediately comes up the moment she realizes her faux pas, but the other dolls understand what she means. All the dolls are eager to get out of the room that's lined with gas tanks, but it's an endless filled corridor. It takes a long time before they manage to stride to the end. Hey, is that a light up ahead? The only thing at the end of the room is a rot-eaten door. A faint light leaks through the gap below it. Meanwhile, unsettling whispers can be heard through the door, which spooks the dolls even more. I can hear something. Let's be careful while moving in. The dolls crouch low, then gently push open the door at the end of the room. It leads to an open space. The char of candles blends with the stink of gore and hits them square in the face. The whispering becomes clearer, and as it repeats over and over again, dolls can make out what it says. May deformity be exchanged for purity. If you must pass wisdom on the sinful world, then may my form be the medium. Nearing the end, no wonder the event is a two-parter. Wisdom is like unto a curse. If the world does not deserve this blessing, then may my form atone for it. For the flesh is but a shell, if blessing is to be shared with all things. A sonorous liturgy comes from the distance. Several dozen unitates in long robes recite verses over and over again from where they're standing around a deep, steep pit. Oh gosh, they're singing. Meanwhile, the girl standing in the middle leads the prayer, her voice the loudest and brightest of all. This is the final offering. The dolls stuck in the shadows, looking into the pit, her monster breathes in the last inside the pit. Is that a Buchem? That's the one that attacked us just now. Helena's signal is down there. Was Helena swallowed by the Buchem? A low look of shock appears on Colgate's face, and she immediately tries to run out of the shadows and toward the pit. Holy crap! Diane and Jiangyu frantically grab at Colgate. Let me go! I need to save her! Helena's right there. Let me save her. Please, calm down, Miss Colgate. It's a big monster down there. Are you planning to jump down and commit Sudoku? But I... Don't worry. I'm sure there'll be a way to do it. Let's observe the situation more carefully. The girl slams her staff on the ground and makes a loud noise to draw everyone's attention. May deformity be exchanged for purity. If you must pass wisdom onto the sinful world, then may my form be the medium. Cries of fear come from among the unitates, but their bodies continue marching up to the pit. Their trembling is visible even through their robes as terror echoes among the congregation. Wisdom is like unto a curse. If this world does not deserve a blessing, then may my form atone for it. The unitates pull out their daggers and trembling hands and point them towards their own throats. Some people try to struggle against this, but their bodies do not heed their commands, as though they were not in control of their actions. For the flesh is but a shell. If blessing is to be shared with all things, may my form be how they are joined. Daggers plunge in forcefully, just as the unitates fall into the pit, along with their blood. The dull thud of their bodies hitting the ground rouses the monster at the base of the pit. The twisted monster rises at the base, covered in wounds as though it's barely hanging onto life, strains to drag itself over to the bodies. Upon touching the Buchem, the corpses meld into its bodies. Oh! The three orbs begin circling around the monster as though they're protecting something. A massive plant coils around the Boojum's tail, binding it to the base of the pit. The Boojum emits a cry from time to time, sounding like a howl of pain and a roar of anger at the same time. Did this thing eat Helena? So, this Boojum wasn't formed naturally. Herodias is feeding their followers to Boojums? That's disgusting. The group shifts their attention from the Boojum to the girl by the pit. She seems to be smiling happily, like she's at an amusement park. Creepy? But okay. Where you have Paradius, there's bound to be a Nitos. This one ought to be a Niter. Niter? Yeah, we fought Paradius before this, and this looks like the Niter we met earlier. Is she a mutant Nito or something? We ought to be having a really hard time being a Nito with our present weaponry. According to our previous experience, Niter isn't a particularly strong fighter. She's more like a doll. Colgate lowers her head, then raises her weapon. She's made up her mind before addressing everyone. Boojum hasn't fully recovered yet. This is the best chance for us. If we kill Niter, nobody can stop us from saving Helena. Colgate fires at Niter before anyone can stop her, but the bullet doesn't harm Niter. It's as if it vanished into thin air. Niter rolls around in rage, slamming her staff into the ground. A loud echo fills the air. The time of blessing has not yet arrived. You shall not profane the sanctuary with your insolence. Everyone, get ready for battle. Be careful as you face the enemy. The ringing in my ears interferes with my perceptions, and I don't know how long has passed until I finally regain some sensation in my body. Fortunately, the aches and pains are coursing through my body is a reminder that I'm still alive. I sense the weight on my body lessening. Somebody's moving the stones on the top of me away, one by one. The world in my eyes goes from neon blur to clarity, and a petite form slowly comes into view. Helena? The person before me is Helena. She does not answer, only standing aside watching me fearfully. I look at the dust-covered hands and realize who moved the stones aside. I cough and spit up dust and dirt in my mouth. Then, I take stock of my body. I can't seem to exert strength in my left arm. It's like it's been dislocated. I prop myself up with my right arm, then look around. Shiki-kun, are you awake? Dandelion's voice enters my ears. Her cheerful tone pulls me back to reality from my daze. Considering that she's talking like this, I'm probably not going to be dying anytime soon. I grip my teeth against the pain and slip my dislocated left arm back into place, then test my legs. Fortunately, there don't seem to be any life-threatening injuries, although they ache. The dining gate floats around me as if to scan my body, and then it hovers in front of me again. Looks like you've been taking good care of your body over the past 10 years. The worst injury you got from being flung out of a window was a dislocated arm. Vital signs are all within normal ranges. It won't interfere with incoming operations. I'm just glad to be alive. I look around. My surroundings are a mess, and the rickety building that the Boojum hitch has completely collapsed. The surrounding area is littered with corpses of armed personnel who were killed in the firefight just now. I reflexively reach for my gun, but the cool sensation I expect is not there. Gynacate's eyes seem to shine as it sees me reaching for my gun. Relax, I have just checked your surroundings while you're around. As you can see, there's not a single soul here, so you don't have to worry about being attacked again. However, the Dynagate flies a little higher and looks into the distance. As I follow its gaze, I see a patch of dark. Dang it. Is that the collapsed storm already? Fortunately, I found you quickly enough. Otherwise, you'd be enjoying another full immersion in a collapsed storm. Just as I was wondering how to take you out of there, this little girl showed up. The Dynagate glances at Helena, who's still looking at us frightfully. While I have a ton of questions I want to ask her, it'd be best to get her out of here first. There isn't much time left. I need to dedicate how to get away. I carefully recall what just happened now. Dandelion took over Helena's defense systems, but just as we were about to grab Helena, the Boojum suddenly changed course and slammed in the building we were in. Oh. Are Helena's defense systems locked to the Boojum now? That's awkward. That's real awkward. Colgate threw me out of the window and saved my life. Dandelion, where's Colgate? I saw her being coiled up by the Boojum along with Helena. She isn't responding to my hails, but I can try to track her location. Her coordinates indicate that she's some distance away from us, and she hasn't moved in a long time. Dang it! We need to find her! I knew you'd say that, Shiki-kun. However, shouldn't we be focusing on how to survive right now? Can you contact the Elmo? The collapse storm is almost here. What do you think? The last time we had a signal, I told Mei-Ling to bring the drone back. Hopefully it'll save some time when comms are restored. That's the storm. That storm sure picked a great time to come by. I would suggest we find a place to take cover. Otherwise, we'll be sporting a new crystalline look in a few minutes. Are there any suitable locations nearby? There's some non-sealed buildings. Perhaps won't provide much of actual protection, but having something is better than nothing. Fortunately, Helena is a quasi-fully immune individual, and this isn't your first time being exposed. So you should be fine. Will it really be okay? A look of hesitation briefly crosses Helena's face, but in the end she works her courage up to walk up to me and the diner gate. This way. What's wrong, Helena? This way. After pointing in the way she wants me to go, Helena runs off in the distance. After a while, she stops to look back at us, then keeps moving ahead. Is Helena headed for safety? How does she know which places are safe? You can ask that question when you reach safety. I force myself to my feet, looking back at the ruins. There's no time to spend on contemplation. I begin moving in the direction Helena went and get out of here. Over here. Helena stops in front of the high point at the edge of the ruins. There's a distinguished entrance visible near the building. Initial inspection of the entrance reveals that it's well camouflaged by vegetation and rubble, but looking closer inside shows clear signs of man-made architecture. Is this entrance supposed to be the underground broker? The inside of the tunnel is much larger than expected. It's big enough for 2 trucks to drive through it side by side. The collapse storm outside carries wave after wave of dirt with it. There are no more traces worth investigating on the surface now. Looks like you know this stuff really well, Shiki-kun. Could you explain? They're traders who do business in the contamination zones. Naturally, the UNRC views them as smugglers. Well, these smugglers sure are bold to have such a big entrance here. Well, they're brave enough to transport anything from small animals to heavy arms. Did you not really know that? Not at all. Seriously? In theory, Dandelion should probably not know about these people and things that are only found within the contamination zones, but for some reason, I have a feeling she's familiar with these things. Helen doesn't pay any attention to our discussion. Instead, she goes deeper and deeper. She turns to look at me, troubled look in her eyes. I walk past and in front of her, then shine my torch in the tunnel. It's empty. The shutter to the tunnel is half open. Once again, Helena sets forth. Although I can't be sure if it's actually safe in there, I have no choice but to grit my teeth and head inside. The diner gate flies into the hole, and the shutter, which looks like it was broken, suddenly grinds shut. The interior of the hole lights up, and the sound of the machinery comes close. Dandelion, give me a scan of our surroundings. We're currently descending underground on the elevator. The dining gate flies in the direction where the platform is headed. I look in the same direction, watchful for any sudden dangers which might come up. Did you come to save Helena too? Out of nowhere, the here, there too, Helena looks at me and asks a question without being addressed. Yes, of course we came to save you. So, what happened just now? Why'd you fly away all of a sudden? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to blame you. I just wanted to know what happened just now. Everyone was tricked. Everyone died. Helena was saved. Wait, you were saved? Yes. In the moment of the greatest despair, the call was answered. Helena stares at me like she's trying to commit something to memory. Dandelion. And Shiki-kun. I'm here. I'm scared. What's scaring you? I'm scared that you will vanish too. She pauses, then speaks again in an almost imperceptible voice. I already have nowhere else to go. Frankly speaking, there seems to be nothing wrong with how Helena's speaking so frankly, but my instincts tell me not to focus on that. I have this feeling that if I do voice my suspicions, this girl will vanish like a popped soap bubble. Did anyone vanish down there? People who once stood beside me are gone. People who helped me in my struggles are gone. Everyone has suffered because Helena exists. However, people who answered me should not become the new sacrifice. Upon saying this, Helena lowers her head and does not speak further. I go over her words in my head, trying to extract meaning from them. Perhaps this is all related to what happened here. With that, I begin looking around. The elevator and walls are covered in scars of battle, and it's plain to see they're all quite recent. We encountered those unknown armed men, and that Bujim from that time signal went through until we touched down, so something must have happened here recently. Just as I'm thinking, the dining gate flies back to the elevator and reaches the bottom floor. Shiki-kun, I have good news and bad news. Which would you like to hear first? Start with the bad news. The bad news is that the following scenes might end up inducing stomach distress. However, they're highly informative, so you'll need to look at them anyway. And what's the good news? The good news is that Colgate's signal's on the move. Hopefully that means her frame is still functioning and we won't need to load her neural cloud from the backup. How far away from us is she? Coincidentally enough, Colgate's on the same elevation as us. In other words, she might be in the base. Since Colgate's in there, then we'll have to go in. That makes me jealous. Would you come save me like this if I were in danger? Obviously, right? This answer is very important to me, you know. So don't try to bluff your way out through this, Commander. I hope nobody around me will end up in danger. That includes you, Dandelion. And if danger is unavoidable, I'll do my best to protect everyone. That's unfair, Shiki. You're the only one who needs protection. You're the one who needs protection the most, after all. Then let's do our best for each other. After our conversation ends, the diner gate comes close. Can you contact your defense systems? We could just walk through with the balls on our side. Helena shakes her head. You're so defensive. How boring. The dining gate flies in a circle around Helena. Helena warily turns to face Dandelion through her flight. Did you do all of this? You smell like something out of this world. Let's go. I guide Helena's hand to my sleeve, but I can't resist giving her a reminder. We'll be going deep into the tunnels after this. Things in there might get really dangerous, so make sure you hold on tight and don't run off. When I walk, you walk. When I stop, you stop. When I crouch down, if I don't come looking for you, you don't come out. Got that? Helen tugs on my sleeve and nods. None members. The enemies are all down. I look carefully in case someone's waiting to ambush me. The diner gate's eye flashes a few times. Dandelion speaks, not from the diner gate speakers, but through my earpiece. Looks like the final piece of the puzzle has appeared at last. What will you do now, Shiki-kan? Well, we've come all the way to an old friend's house. Might as well sit down, make ourselves comfortable, and see if there's anything valuable around the place. Scavenger time. Looks like this old friend of yours has fallen on tough times. There's a bunch of new raw garbage in the corner. Some out of place military supplies over there. It looks like they've been reduced to hiring contractors to mine the place. You should relax now, Shiki-kan. We'll talk about this once we've ripped the cult out by the roots. That's strange. How come nobody's keeping watch? I'm starting to connect the dots here. So a Boojum appeared nearby. The PMCs appointed as security moved out to eliminate it. In the end, not only could they not beat the monster, but they ran into us and they ended up getting wiped out. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Whoops. Na 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 na. Well, it's an idea, but it's missing out a lot of details. Why did a Boojum show up near a Paradise stronghold? And why was it that the PMCs had to go and fight the Boojum in said stronghold, since it was underground? Just doesn't make sense unless the Boojum was escaping the stronghold and fleeing to the surface. Now that's an interesting guess. In this case, why did Helena seek the Boojum out? Why does she act like she knows the place as well? The diner gate looks at Helena, but Helena doesn't notice us gazing at her. Instead, she looks nervously further within. This girl has many secrets about her. I'm sure you must have seen a lot of strange things about her as well, right? There's no such thing as too strange when it comes to fully immune individuals. In addition to the readily visible oddities, Helena seems to have a strange relationship with the Boojum. Have you noticed that, Shiki-kan? I wouldn't have thought of things that way if you hadn't mentioned it. I suddenly remember the report that Gyoza gave me from when we just received Helena. Part of it included the details of Helena appearing and the Boojum vanishing, and there just so happened to be a collapsed storm at the time too. So, what you're saying is that Helena can naturally attract Boojums. It's just a guess. This place just so happens to be Paradise base. We might be able to find some information that corroborates that theory. Since you've said so much already, does that mean you've discovered something? Since you're so curious, then please follow me, Shikika. The diner gate floats before my eyes once again, and after extending its limbs before me in midair, it wiggles around a bit before flying further in. It looks like it's trying to do a cat stretch to show how smug it is, but unfortunately it comes off dorky since it's a diner gate. I chuckle to myself. It's true that her body's instruments are more reliable in an enclosed environment like this one. I lightly tug on Helena and she immediately moves forward with me. The terrain here isn't exactly complex. We head down the staircases, and every time we think we're at the bottom, we find a similar looking platform beyond, which is another staircase leading down. There's no useful information on the first 3 floors. However, once we pass the platform, the diner gate suddenly comes to a halt. Shiki-kan, you should rest here for a while. I'll go take a look ahead. Are there any enemies? I lower my voice and prepare for trouble. I'm not sure. Not sure? What did you find? Dandelion is silent for a while. The uncharacteristic behavior sobers me up completely. It's strange. I can't pick up a heat source, but it's very faint. Could it be a combat unit using some kind of special equipment? No, perhaps I should say, it doesn't seem like a living person. Huh? Dandelion seems to sense my confusion. She uses the projector on the diner gate she's in to display a visualization of her findings, and I subconsciously hold my breath. The image shows faint, human-shaped heat signatures standing together in an orderly manner, inside what looks like 4 large glass specimen tanks. The heat sources do not move, like they are neatly arranged specimens. Are they severely radiated mutants? No, the mutation isn't complete. Normal human vital signs are still present. I have to hand it to Paradise. They're always exceeding my expectations. Chikigan, wait for me to give you the all clear. Before I can give the order, the Dynagate flies deeper in. I can sense Dandelion's emotion through the tone of her voice just now. Time passes second by second, minute by minute. As I wait anxiously, my patience runs out for the Dynagate. How are things? You should probably see for yourself. Dandelion doesn't answer me directly. I follow the Dynagate to a hidden door. If not for Dandelion's thermal sensors, given the darkened conditions, I would have never been able to tell that there was a door here. The gate's electronic lock is unpowered. It opens with a light push, and the dim ground lights roughly illuminate the interior of the room. It isn't a big room, and there are 4 glass tanks neatly arranged in the middle. The tanks appear to be full of some kind of fluid, and their contents are unclear at the moment. Dandelion finds a port and the control terminal and skillfully connects the Dynagate's cable to it. Upon seeing me slowly approach the tanks to see what's inside, she thoughtfully returns on the tank lights. What I see next makes me reflexively draw my breath. The contents of the tanks are displayed to be all by the ghastly white. Each tank is roughly a meter or so in height and covered in clumsy prayers. There's some kind of vegetation whose name I can't tell at the bottom of the tanks, while there are humans of different physiques, looks, and ages at the upper portions. The humans and plants are suspended in differently colored liquids. The top and bottom of each tank has 4 hoses of different colors leading to them. Completely biocirculatory cycle, like blood vessels. Although I was mentally prepared for this, seeing something this creepy... Somewhat worried, I look at Helena, who has followed me in. However, she has placed her hand on the glass as though she's bidding the people inside a wordless farewell. I trust this has made you adequately shocked and angered. Hello, gal! The Dynagate's data cable connects to the control terminal. The screen immediately fills with folders opening up and their details. Just looking at it makes my head spin. I bet Dandelion's making copies of everything. I think you've pretty much guessed it by now. There's lots of information in the system, which means fully decrypting and analyzing it will take a little while. So it's better if I dump all of it in my database and crunch it at my leisure. Still, it's not like I've come empty-handed. Take a look at the serial numbers of these files, Shikikan. What are the serial numbers? These folders contain basic personal information. They aren't encrypted, probably because they don't contain any valuable information. Still, I managed to pick up some traces. Take a look at their surnames. Dossiers for 10 odd people flash past my eyes. They all have the same surname. Wait, are they all family? Or maybe they're of the same race. That would be more appropriate. Only the data for this room is shown here. I did some digging and found out that all the people here have the same surname. Something suddenly comes to mind. A place where the Bujim first fought was apparently an abandoned town. There was no residence to be found there, and I thought it was because we fled. Could it be everyone in the village had been captured for experiments? Here it is. What did those MFers do? One word was mentioned reportedly in the data. New species. A fusion of flora and fauna. Does that seem similar? To be precise, I think they're trying to fuse human bodies with varying characteristics with collapsed radiation-infused plants through varying ratios of this unknown fluid. There's a lot of missing information. My guess is they're conducting experiments infusing live humans with plants. using different concentrations of bonding fluid to catalyze the reaction. The constituents of this boring fluid are unknown. Oh, so not entirely human, but with various animals mixed in too. Human and plants, animals and plants, humans and animals and plants. Looks like the radiated plants are carriers for this medium. And they're also lined with special implemented cells. Dandelion, make sure you save all of this. Will do. I won't miss a single bite. Helena silently walks away from the tanks and bows to them. Shikika, can you help them? What? Helena reaches out and points to the glass tanks. There is a pained look in her eyes. Dandelion does not answer. Only the blinky red light on the diner gate flashes. From the logs, it seems like the people in the tanks weren't put in there too long ago. Can we save them? They're beyond saving. Their bodies are too deeply fused for that. From the logs, they look like logistics personnel from StateSec. They're from StateSec? Were they captured by Paradeus? I can shut off the power to these tanks. That might put an end to their experiments here. I glance at Helena and nod slightly. Let them rest. Helena bows to me and Dandelion. At the same time, I hear an unsettling growl from the depths of the base. There's no doubt it's a boojum we just encountered. After hearing the noise, Helena glances at us, then she runs into the base without looking back. Dandelion, follow us once you've finished downloading the data. After telling Dandelion what to do, I proceed to give chase. I can sense something is about to happen.
这样一来，就有时间去做自己喜欢的事了。
Diane and the others rain fire on the Niter and force her to back, but the Niter ducks behind cover. The appointed time has not yet arrived. Forgive this insult, my lord, and rain judgment down upon these heretics. Niter raises her staff high and emits a deafening, sinister sound, forcing the dolls to cover their ears to protect their hearing. What's that heck doing? Look out, the boojum's moving. The boojum seems to have rejuvenated by the sound and crawls out of the pit with all of its might. Eventually, the boojum emerges from the pit, devouring the blood and flesh of the sacrifices, restores its strength, and the wounds it just took begin to knit together. The boojum's body is bigger than before, but the monster thrashes around continuously, as though it's unable to control itself. Niter thumps the ground again. The sound makes the boojum roar again and cry. Atop the boojum, below the three revolving orbs, a shadow vaguely shaped like a girl can be made out inside its body. Helena! I knew it! Helena's in there! Oh, shoot! Oh my god, there's two Helenas. Colgate can't force herself back anymore and throws caution to the wind as she runs up to the boojum. Oh my god, there's two Helenas. Give her back! Give Helena back! Colgate unloads all of her firepower. Colgate! Diane rushes out of cover, picking up the tentacles trying to smash Colgate. Zhang Yu and Zhao Hui follow behind her. Since there's no way for them to retreat, the dolls have to utterly crush the monster here. Can't be helped, big sis. We'll all have to attack at once. Now's our chance to defeat this monster while it's weakened. We'll cover Miss Colgate. Be careful, everyone. Heretics! Heretics, one and all! The boojum slowly falters under the doll's attacks. Nauseating slime gushes from its wounds. Yeah, take some time. Take all the time you want with that drum beat. Although Niter wraps her staff on the ground, the monster seems unwilling to continue attacking the dolls. Did we do it? We need to keep pressing on. Helena, I'll save you once we eliminate this monster. The dolls spread out, circling around the boojum to attack Niter, and a look of despair crosses Niter's face. But just then, the sphere in the boojum's head starts to shine with a blinding light. Niter's face fills with a savage glee as though she's heard something. The appointed time is upon us. I knew this was but a trial set before me. I know you would never abandon me. Thank you for answering your servant, my lord. The sphere of shine and light slices open the Bujim's body. Helena slowly floats into view, and despite the Bujim's wounds spewing slime everywhere, her body is not touched by any of it. The Bujim howls in agony, but Helena pays it no heed. All she does is glare coldly at the Niter. Niter is full of delight as she stands in front of the Bujim. She laughs maniacally as she casts her staff aside and falls to her knees before the monster. However, her face turns pale and twisted and she roars in anger. You are not her. You are not her. Where is my lord? I am here. Shocked, Niter turns around and sees the other Helena taking aim at her with a handgun. My lord? This is from them. I'm returning it to you. Helena pulls the trigger and a bullet blasts clean through the Niter's torso. I devoted myself to you with utmost faith. Faith? And rejoice, for today will be a martyr. Helena does not stop shooting for a moment. She pulls the trigger again and again, pumping more bullets into Niter's head. Niter collapses to the ground and her staff falls with her. Holy crud! She just shot that girl 3 times! She just triple tapped her! The Bujim is in front of her collapses as well, as though its spine had been suddenly removed. As I catch up, I come to a halt, staring in shock. I realize that Helena is holding my pistol. Although I can sense something strange happen with her, what I do not expect are 2 Helenas standing in front of me. I love that we're collecting daughters, like someone said in chat. Daughter collecting simulator? Frontline 2. Shortly afterwards, the Helena in the air speaks first. D68. You were not chosen. What a shame. I never wanted to be chosen. Everything we believed in was a lie. Is it? Is the resonance the only thing that came from the ritual? She was not the one who resonated with me. She saved me, so get the heck out of her body! To think you would sacrifice so much just to do something so meaningless. This is the only place with meaning to it. I want to save the people here. I was so close to success. Why was it you again? You traitor! You betrayed all of us! There is a vicious glint in Helena's eye before us. She pulls the trigger. However, the spheres glow and the bullets are easily melted. The Helena in midair looks down scornfully towards the ground, making her final statement. Betrayed you? You are the one who betrayed us. Scum who abandon their faith and their mission ought to disappear. The spheres begin to circle the airborne Helena. An energy beam gathers between the orbs. Dandelion, take our defense systems now! On it. I rush out and grab Helena before jumping aside. Thanks to Dandelion's interference, the energy beam is thrown off target and it doesn't hit me. The dolls from afar see me and immediately head in my direction. Shiki-kan? I knew it! The Shiki-kan was here after all! Is this the Shiki-kan you keep talking about? What do you think? Our Shiki-kan still looks as bad butt as ever, even after all these years. Dolls run up to me and press themselves against me. Ooh. Fortunately, the defense system don't initiate a round of attacks. 95? 97? What are you girls doing here? It's fate! It's a long story, Shiki-kan, but Miss Colgate over here brought us here to look for you. Is that so? I'm glad you're okay, Colgate. You owe me one, Shiki-kan. Colgate happily flashes me a thumbs up. Then she looks at Helena in the air before exclaiming in surprise. What's going on? 2 Helenas! The airborne Helena looks at us in amusement. She does not seem to intend to attack us with spheres. Instead, she looks thoughtful. Well, someone interesting has shown up. I didn't expect to meet so soon. Who are you? I am a consciousness who is similar to someone you know now. A lot will happen between us soon. Helena's voice starts to sound strange. You'll need to survive until then. A ferocious wave of gunfire suddenly sweeps in from afar. It's coming from various passages, laid down by armed troops who look like the ones we fought earlier, but whose helmets have been painted black. Enemy reinforcements? Didn't the PMC say just now that there were reinforcements coming? They came a little quick, don't you think? Prioritize I'm dying. Prioritize protecting the Shikikan. Lay down suppressive fire. We'll be withdrawing through the passage. I reach out to Helena. She hesitates for a moment before returning the handgun to me. I wave to Colgate and she immediately joins me in my cover. Colgate, bring Helena to the rear. Everyone else, form up on me. Will do. Colgate grabs Helena's hand and runs towards the tunnel where I'm pointing. However, she reaches the entrance, she comes to a halt, and comes back with Helena in tow. Shikikan! There are enemies in the rear too! Dang it, we're surrounded. Chungyu, move behind the Shikikan and intercept them. Oh my gosh. Roger, roger, something. Bullets start flying our way from the tunnel just now, forcing us to leapfrog between cover, lest we end up getting caught in the crossfire. Things don't look good, Shikikan. At long last, it's time for you to flex your leadership skills. Oh. Do you seriously think this is a time for that? The dolls fire back at the enemy, but the reinforcements vastly outnumber us, and soon we're completely suppressed by the enemy. How many enemies are there left? There should be at least 50 according to the scans. Right. Is there any other way? As you can see just now. As you can see, right now I'm just a diner. Look, I'm being serious here. In that case, we should be able to solve the problem handily with our reinforcements arrive, right? Reinforcements? Where are we getting reinforcements from? Just then, I hear a familiar, yet unfamiliar voice in my earpiece. The moment I do, I know that we've been tossed a lifeline. Shikikan, do you read me? Loud and clear. We've received Oh, shoot, Kikan. Dude, why would you place it there? Gosh dang it. We've received Miss Dandelion's distress signal and are now approaching your location. Machida's coming too. Wait for us, Shikikan. Don't die down there. Oh my god. Oh. Shoot, Kikan. Oh my god. Guys, that was a doozy. 3 hours of having to pause and jump and pause and jump and pause and jump and pause and jump and... I hope that you're feeling okay. I am lightheaded from all the breathing and quickly going through. Yeah, that was speedy. I won't lie, it's a pretty huge, don't worry, now you can enjoy the continuation at your own pace. Thank God. Oh my goodness gracious. I hydrated, thank y'all. Oh, sweet God. Why? That was so quick. That was so fast. Again, appreciate that they uploaded that, but... Oh, I did it. So let's talk about the implications. I wanted to get through it before we what's it called? Before we get into what's it called? Into GFL2's Zuro Cafe. We'll just be doing a little bit, like basically a part 1, and then we'll do the rest into Saturday. Do the rest on Saturday, and going to be directly voiced, hopefully. Wait, are you telling me Zuro Cafe isn't? It should be. Even if it isn't, I don't mind voicing, as long as I don't have to be like, you know, flap my gums at them. No. Why isn't Zuro Cafe voiced? I have to do this one too? Good night, man. Sleep well. But no, okay, so now we know, without a doubt, Kingdom Hearts is... Okay, so now we know that there are 2 Helenas. Helena is directly tied. What's it called? Helena is directly tied to, what's it called? The church. This Helena is a good Helena. And the others are with the church and are quote-unquote bad Helenas. I'm gonna drink a little more. It was rewritten like the die-in event, so they didn't have time to voice it. Okay. That's sad. So that's how we get to the Zuro Cafe, because they ended up helping us out and saving our bacons, so to speak. God, I've actually been enjoying this because it's just such a... It's a very simple little mini game to play, and I like how simple it is. It's soothing, like this event. So we have a bunch of dolls that help us out, thanks to Dandelion, and then in turn, now we have to help out a cafe. I see. I scratch your back, you scratch mine, basically. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna take a breather, I'm gonna take a quick break. We're gonna do part 1, at least like 1 to 2 stages, so that way I can at least finish Zuro Cafe on Saturday. So we'll finish Zucchero on Saturday, and then do part 1 today. And I think that'll work. That'll do it for stream. You did Dandelion voice really well? Thank you. Oh, at this point, I don't think I need me in a Shikikan outfit. I think I need me in a Dandelion outfit because y'all liked it so much. Oh my gosh, if... Okay, this is the last set. I can't do any more because I will get addicted to this. This little mini game is so much fun. Okay, I need to stop. It's so silly too, right? It doesn't really seem like it's that nice, and as you guys know, I did the coffee beans here. Which one of Dandelion's outfits though? The one she has in Girlfoot 2. The banter between Dandelion and SKK is fun to watch. Do you really want to be associated with alien AI though? I have no problem with it. Why not? Why not, guys? Why not? Okay, I need six mochitos here. If you hook 6 items together, you get an extra reward? Wait, how do you mean? Wait. Oh, this is challenge. I was like, wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. Sass of Dandelion. Well, you know, the sad thing, Frederico, is that people liked it, so I don't know. I don't care. If people like it, I don't care. The first rays of daybreak stream in through the trees that line the pavement, shining a perfectly ordinary little cafe by the side of the street. A girl dressed like a shop attendant is hard at work. She's cleaning up the planters, making snacks, and changing out the coffee beans. She systematically works through the tasks that have to be completed before the cafe can be open for business. Perhaps it's because her neural cloud is occupied with these routine tasks, but she doesn't seem to notice the footsteps approaching her. Good morning. Springfield circles around to the other side of the counter and watches the surprise on the other girl's face with interest. Manager. What is manager in Japanese? Manager. It's not often that I find you so distracted, Santoreshi. My apologies. Why must you apologize? The point of this cafe is to help everyone live a relaxed life after all. Santoreshi and Springfield look up at the same time. This cafe, decorated in a retro style, has a signboard reading Zucchero at its door. The Zuro Cafe is not only a popular hangout for the local residents, but also a secret clearinghouse run by ex-Griffin dolls to help their colleagues obtain information and seek help. After many years, the cafe has gradually put down roots and flourished, and it's entirely due to the efforts of the dolls who run it. Springfield nods to Santoreshi and smiles. Well, being able to see you this relaxed proves that my hard work hasn't gone to waste. Of course, I'll continue doing my best with you from here on out, Manager. I'll be counting on you. That said, they are here today, but in any case, we don't need to worry anymore about the security situation. Indeed, right now Zucchero is probably the safest place in the city. This also means I'll be able to pull all my focus onto today's task. After all, the preparation for today must be handled with utmost rigor. You have a point. Let me help you too. Santoreshi nods. Springfield steps behind a nearby cabinet and quickly dons an apron before helping to portion out the desserts Santoreshi has made before placing them in a cold case. Seemingly spotting something of note, Springfield pauses as she tops off the milk in the coffee machine. Then she leans in close and takes a sniff with the grinder hopper. Oh my! Are the beans in the machine from your private reserve of black ivory coffee? These things are too precious for most merchants to sell, even in the satellite city. As you recall, you saved up many collapsed pieces to buy them. Are you going to use them all today? Upon hearing Springfield speak, Santoreshi's face flushes a faint pink. Yeah, I would like to make the best possible coffee I can today. Santoreshi turns the calendar on the counter to a new page with a thoughtful look on her face. Each box in the calendar is filled with entries from events in different styles of handwriting, such as meet with coffee bean supplier, trim the lawn, 100 Zucchero live, and so on. Meanwhile, Jesse's box only has one word on it. Reserved. About that. Have you wrapped the gift for our customer yet? Of course. I've modified and cared for it, in special ways just so our customer will feel the full extent of the surprise you prepared. Well done, Santoreshi. You've covered all bases. Honestly, don't know how the cafe would manage without you. You flatter me. All this is just standard procedure. I mean, oh yes, the cookies are almost done. Would you like to try them, Manager? I think not. I have some other work I need to wrap up. The rest is up to you. I'll take care of it for you. Santoreshi doesn't say anything, turning aside to let Springfield through, as though they've rehearsed the movement countless times before. Springfield opens the door to the kitchen and pushes the cake flour on the shelf to one side before moving the syrup on the topmost shelf into another cabinet. After tidying the place up, she moves the cabinet aside, revealing a patch of wall whose colors are brighter on account of not being exposed to the sun as much as its surroundings. Finally, she knocks twice on the wall. The wall section cracks, then it suddenly splits open along a hidden seam, revealing a secret passage just large enough for a single person to pass through. In the darkness, Springfield feels her way along the wall and finds a switch on it. A light comes on and illuminates the interior. A huge display monitor dominates the cramped room and turns on with lights, displaying several locations being monitored by security cameras. Springfield scans the images on the screen, then presses the intercom button below it. Right on time, Manager Springfield. We managed to hire several very capable staffers recently, so I'm much less busy now. So, have you gotten any new stock in lately? Of course I have. What kind do you want? I'll go with coffee beans. I like the sweeter kind. One of our regulars has developed a taste for them. Also, have you received the special blend that Machito sent over last time? Oh, yes I have. It was delicious. If you have more next time, I want it all. My, aren't we greedy? You blame me when your menu items are all excellent. Now, back to business. That special guest I mentioned earlier will be visiting us today. I would like to ensure that nothing goes wrong with this meeting. As a supplier, can you provide the coffee beans today? Oh, looks like this guest of yours is quite the VIP. Oh yes, she's our most valuable client after all. I see, and here I thought you were joking when you mentioned it last time. You really are a kidder. I've always taken my work seriously. Sorry, that isn't what I meant. If you insist, I do have extra coffee beans that I can supply today, manager. However, there will be an extra charge for a rush order like this one. Of course, we'll set our bill with you per standard procedure. Springfield soon receives a message. After she reads it, it automatically deletes itself. My, this does help a lot. Beep, beep, beep. Just as she's about to continue, an internal call suddenly comes over her communicator. Pardon me, but it seems we have a bit of a situation at the cafe. We'll continue this later then. The other party hangs up and Springfield answers the call. She immediately hears a familiar voice. Manager, hold on. Manager, we've spotted several suspicious individuals approaching Zucchero. Should I deal with them? Springfield looks over the screen. The security camera shows several thugs swaggering. It seems they're just troublesome guests, so we'll let Sharkry handle them. Did you hear that, Sharkry? Is it time for Sharkry's debut at last? It seems there's some troublesome guests in the northwest of the cafe. Please, take care of them. Will do. Sharkry will give each and every one of them a perfect show. On a building roughly 1 kilometer away from Zuro Cafe, Machito is lying prone behind a set of guardrails and balcony concealed by camouflage cape. After hearing the voice through her communicator, she finally shifts her gaze away from the optical scope for a moment. As she watches the doll in the distance sauntering off with exaggerated dance-like steps, Machito grumbles to herself. Honestly, can we really count on her? Well, she's a civilian doll, primarily intended for entertainment industry. This young miss has fitted us with really advanced fire control compartment. Usually she's the one who handles troublesome guests like these when you're not around. There's doubt written all over Machito's face as she continues studying Sharkry through her scope. Clearly, she's not convinced by Springfield's words. However, the suspicious individual each fade from Machito's view over the course of the next few minutes. Looks like they were simply layabouts. Fortunately, they didn't pose a real threat. Sharkry, how are things now? One moment, manager. This is the last of them. Sharkry's voice comes over the transmission. Hey, aren't you from that bar in the underground shopping street? Have you paid your projection money for this month? If not, you'll... Wait a minute. Are you a doll? Oh, ow! Stay back! Run away! Run away! The sounds of flesh being bludgeoned fills the channel. See? She's good at this. Uh-oh. I guess tricking the enemy with her deceptive appearance must be part of how she gets the job done. What's this? Is that jealousy I hear, Machito? Heck no. Who would be jealous of that spoiled little brat, anyway? Besides, all I need is a gun in my hand. And that's a wrap. Sharkry suddenly cuts into the transmission, striking a pose before proudly declaring her work is done. Manager, I finished the mission without a hitch. In the video feed, an arm slowly reaches out from a dumpster behind Sharkry. Sharkry, what's that behind you? Sharkry glances back and delivers a lightning-fast kick that sends the arm back into the dumpster. It's nothing at all. So you threw them in the trash. Could have at least dumped them in front of the nearest police box. Oh no, my makeup's starting. I need to go touch myself up. You have the stage now, Miss Machino. Hey, wait. I can't believe she's just spouting a bunch of crud and then walks off like that. I called her back. You should come back too, Machino. She's not here yet, is she? Maybe I should keep watch until she sets foot into the cafe. The police will keep an eye on things for today, and besides, I'm sure you don't want to be stuck alone on a roof when she shows up, right? Fine, I got it. I'm coming back now, okay? Although she has an annoyed scowl on her face, Machita's already getting worked up on her final task. First, she opens her terminal and refreshes her data links. Scenes from the cameras monitoring the streets around the Zucchero flash through her mind. Machito's neural cloud carefully parses and filters every single suspicious individual and sound, as well as windows and vehicles that could be used to spy on them. The 14th check reveals no suspicious conditions. The surrounding streets are safe. Having reached their conclusion, Machito stands up and looks down from the highest ground in the city. As a professional sniper, she knows the layout of this place like the back of her hand. While this is a satellite city in the green zone, she could have a bullet in the opposition's skull within half a second of any threat exposing themselves, should the situation call for it. Considering what kind of occasion this day is, she does not want any unexpected interruptions. After verifying the situation, Machito disconnects the data cable that's plugged in the floor before returning her exquisite rifle into its violin case and leaping off the side of the building. 20 minutes later, after Zucchero's floor door chimes for the last time, the 4 members of the cafe staff are finally gathered inside the cafe. Thank you, Miss Machito. Your coffee's ready. Okay, thanks. Machito accepts the cup and gets a whiff. The rich scent of roasted caramel wafts into her nose. She takes a sip and lets her tense nerves promptly relax. The bitterness is just right, and the foam is really dense. In any case, at least you didn't try to mess with me and treat me like a kid. You know, you can just praise Sentoreshi directly if you want to. You were expressing praise just now, Miss Machito? You see, the person in question had no idea you were doing it at all. What a pain. I'll be more careful next time. You're really good at catering to everyone's tastes, Sentoreshi. The hot cocoa tastes super yummy too. As I thought, rather icky bittersweet coffee. Rather than icky bitter coffee, sweet cocoa really does suit this super cute Sharky best. Kids really are easy to fool. Are you praising Miss Sharky for being cute? What? Of course not. Looks like apart from lessons on cafe work, Sentoreshi will need to study up on speaking Machino's language too. I will do my best. Why are you acting so serious about this anyway? Oh, look, Miss Machino's ears are red again. Perhaps she's trying to change the subject, or perhaps she really is bothered by something. Annoyed, Machito turns to look outside the window, drumming her fingers on the table. Speaking of which, isn't our guest here yet? Dolls all look outside. Crowds of people mill back and forth on the street, but the person they're all hoping to see hasn't shown up yet. The cookies will get cold if she doesn't arrive soon. Time ticks, and as the sun rises, the anticipation in the girl's heart soon becomes worry. Did something happen to her on her way here? They don't want to speculate on the reasons for it. However, the guest has always been a very punctual person. Ring, ring, ring. The cafe telephone rings in the silence. Springfield heads over the counter and picks it up immediately, as though she's been waiting for it all this time. As she raises it to her ear, she mimes a shushing gesture to the other members. Hello, this is Zucchero Cafe. Would you like a reservation or a home delivery order? Oh, is this the password system you arranged with her? However, the voice on the other end of the line is not the voice they long for. Springfield immediately turns to put her back to the counter and gives the other 3 dolls meaningful looks. You're... It's been a while, Miss Springfield. Alright then, let's dispense with the pleasantries. Just the fact that you have this mean you're with her. A wise seduction. And yes, I need you to help us out right now. You won't refuse us, will you? Please get to the point. Simply put, things have gone wrong as usual. Threat level is code red. I've sent you coordinates in a route. Whether or not she'll be alive depends on how quickly you get there. I like her new outfit. I like the previous one the most, though. See you later, ladies of Zucchero. After some silence, Dandelion hangs up. Well, it seems our guest has encountered some difficulty on her way here. I believe we need to make a delivery. Manager, will you be using the emergency action plan? One moment, please. While Shiko has rehearsed the scenario in her neural cloud countless times, Springfield still wants to ensure that the plan goes off without a hitch. Machito, go with loadout number 1 and bring as much ammo as possible. After that, you will drive everyone to the objective location. Got it. Sharkry, can you ensure that our order is delivered? I believe you've installed the relevant software already. No problem. Sharkry has gone through tons of sim training. As for you, Sentoreshi, I fear we'll have to open that gift we were saving for our guests ahead of time. Apologize for that. I know you've spent a lot of time preparing that surprise. That's fine. Gift exists because she needs it. Its value will be maximized if we send it right when it is required. Thank you. Just in case, I will stay at the cafe and provide remote support. If worst comes to pass, I will activate our emergency measures. If that happens, do not return to Zucchero. Proceed immediately to the backup safe house and meet there. Understood. Please be careful too. I will. Sentoreshi, please take care of everyone while you're outside. I'll make sure to keep everyone safe. So in return, please wait at our home for our return. The blinds close, hedging the sunlight outside the cafe, and the sound of cafe door closing in, drowned by clack 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 of rounds being chambered. A place which provides delicious food in times of leisure, and one that protects the most important in times of danger. That is what Zucchero is. Onwards! Okay. So let's see what you guys said so far. Black Ivory Coffee is real. Sentoreshi is my beloved doll with farsightedness. Springfield may look like a simple woman, but she's got connections to politicians. Why they make tea dolls blush? I ask this question constantly. Dolls are civilian converted dolls. Blush because a normal human would know. In fact, normal military dolls look like normal robots. They're quite simplistic. Zucchero. Zucchero is said Zucchero. Gives the dolls feelings of satisfaction to avoid mental stress, hence blushing. So they are waiting. Yes. It seems like they were excited to see us in person and we had an appointment with them. And then we didn't make it, so. Saw this outfit in chapter 5. The old outfit got changed even in older chapters. Imagine seeing a sorry we're closed ATM got a kill sign. Dude, Springfield coming out here winning my heart. She's a champ. A soft looking queen. I might need her. I might need her more than I originally thought. 2 kilometers due west of Intercontinental Railway Transfer Station. Black-colored IFVs drive out of the mist, the autocannons and their turrets sweeping left and right, searching for enemies. There's a large pit in front of these IFVs. One of them comes to a halt about 50 meters away from the pit. After ensuring the situation is safe, its rear hatch slams to the ground. She gives you head pats on the dorm interaction. I am Speed. Is she taller than me too? Is Springfield taller than me? Black armored troopers cautiously dismount, turning on the powerful flashlights mounted on their weapons and illuminating the vast, seemingly bottomless pit before them. The sky starts to drizzle, and the soldiers' bracelets start to turn to yellow. However, the troopers ignore the rising particle density. Springfield was my first 4-star in GFL and got her every costume peak wife. After the squad disperses and takes formation, a red-haired woman emerges from the vehicle. She walks past the troopers and up to the pit. The troopers act like they don't see her, their guns raised as they continue watching their surroundings for danger. She raises a cigarette to her mouth and lights it before looking disdainfully into the pit and takes a puff. The rain unfortunately puts the cigarette out. The woman scowls, then tosses his cigarette to the ground before forcefully stomping it out. Bad sign, my butt. It's the same poop every single day. Behind her, several more IFVs drive up to the pit. Black armored troops quickly dismount and spread out to scan their surroundings. Soon they filled the space in front of the pit. The badges on the black armored troopers proclaim them to be from Mangi security, but their equipment and attitudes are marked different than the average PMC grunt. The woman changes the channel on her radio and begins giving orders. Everyone listen up. This is Hazard Level 3 assignment. Charlie, Delta, Foxtrot teams, head underground and carry out Plan C27. Bravo and Echo teams, watch the perimeter. Alpha team, stand by. Now as for our ROE, she takes out another cigarette and lights it. After taking a puff, she pauses for a moment. Then the woman slowly exhales a cloud of smoke before giving her orders. Kill everything that moves. The black armored troopers are silent. The woman gestures and the 3 of the teams of men immediately pivot head into the pit, while the other 2 begin establishing defense line around them. The woman continues smoking her cigarette. The soldier behind her waits until she's done before walking up and asking her a question. Adjutant Lentine, why are we deploying 6 combat teams on a single 3-level assessment? Because the brass paid to deploy 6 combat teams. Hayami to edgy Hayami? Dude, this would be like me if I just like got tired of V2ing it, just bam. This is just me out here. Even so, don't you think 6 teams is a little much? Does the Black Op this time round really bother the brass that much? Just look. Lentine points out a terminal in her hand, which shows the view of the trooper's helmet's camera system. She grimaces in disgust as she looks at the insignia on the wall, and she covers it up by lighting another cigarette. Herodias again. The squad leader shakes his head. They've been way too active recently. It's been making us look bad too. You mean our nickname? Thanks to all this gosh dang Black Op, even the rest of Mangi security forces would rather die than let us help them. I mean, have you ever even heard the nickname they gave us? Omen. You don't like it? We're the best of Mangi security. We should be something like the Shining Edge, not Omen or whatever. Shining Edge. The woman suddenly laughs out loud, then cuts off her laughter by sticking a cigarette into her mouth. After taking a puff and getting her breathing under control again, she begins to speak. Frankly speaking, I actually like that name. Nobody who hears it is going to have any illusions about that, what we're going to do next. She points at the squad leader's hand. Say, Kenny, when you became a security contractor, did you actually think you'd be keeping anything safe? Of course not. Did you know? I really, really hate it when people go expecting something of me and then end up depressed when their expectations fall short. I keep hearing crud during missions like, aren't you here to save us? Or how can you do this? And whenever I do, it makes me think I'm just a parrot in a cage. A parrot? Because everyone thinks you should be saying what they expect you to say. Nothing else registers as proper words to them. It's just noise, like a rooster going, "Awk, awk," or something. Kenny is momentarily at a loss for how to respond. Just then a voice comes in over the radio and the 2 of them end their chit-chat to check the terminals. Adjutant Lentine, we're closing in on the target area, preparing to enter. Switch off all security cameras, but leave one patched, directly into our comm channel. Do not record any imagery from this mission. Roger. Have Delta block off the entrance. Foxtrot will cover you. Use up all your explosives. Roger. Time for work. Lentine tosses the cigarette butt aside and heads for her IFE, with Kenny trailing her. Once they get inside, the monitors inside the vehicle show the position of the combat team members who have entered the tunnels and the view from their body cameras. On the screen, The black armored troopers are moving from the elevator platform towards a huge smash gate. They turn the room beyond, covering each in a leapfrog faction. The room inside contains several dozen culture tanks with human body parts enmeshed with plant tendrils, floating in the current culture solutions. The power source in their middle grows dimly. We found multiple samples. The power has been shut off. There might be a contact risk. Stay away from those tanks. Inform all team that the assignment's hazard level has been upgraded to 2. Understood. I'll let them know right away. Looks like for their ritual's sake is down there. It's not often there's one so close to the green zone. These lunatics are getting wilder and wilder. Don't let ethics cloud your judgment. We take money to solve their problems. Or just go first for a small independent PMC. Take Bravo off sentry duty. Have them go down there to support the others. Got it. I'll contact them. Kenny keys his radio and gives orders to the combat team on the perimeter. Lentine's eyes are focused on the screen. The images from the camera continue moving as troopers take plastic explosives out of their backpack, which they plant in various corners of the room. No life forms detected nearby. Charges have been set, awaiting further instructions. Proceed for... Oh, hold on. Guark! Hey! There's a shout from behind and the image shakes violently. The viewpoint quickly turns to the rear, where a trooper in the back has been impaled through the forearm by a thorny plant stem from one of our culture tanks. The trooper tries to escape, but the stem burrows deeper into his flesh. Purple liquid oozes out of the stabbed area, and the trooper's arm immediately swells up. Thank you, thank you. I pride myself in my death noises like yeah and gowarg and huh. The man beside him draws a knife from his waist and promptly chops off the wounded man's forearm. The stabbed soldier wails in agony, staggering back from the pain and shock. My teammate pulls out a medkit and administers a stipic and painkillers. The camera view shifts to the plant that is burrowing deeper into the severed arm. White-colored mist sprays in from off-camera. Abnormal contact has occurred. One man has been injured, suppressing with liquid nitrogen. The man is dying and you're laughing? Hey, it could be a woman. Listen, you remember how the freaking, whatever they're called, Jaegers would sound like, oh, like a donkey. The vegetation soon freezes over, unable to bear the weight of the forearm. It falls to the ground and splinters into many pieces. How many times do I have to tell you not to approach those tanks? Lentine sighs and rubs her temples. Ah, send him up. Will do. Lentine leans back into her chair and addresses Kenny in a mocking tone. Well, well, lucky him. For the low price of half an arm, he gets to collect a big, fat compensation paycheck. The guy who was ruined was probably Maseo. He's been close with us for 10 years. Close to 10 years? It's been that long already. You know, when I get sick of being adjutant, you should take over. I'll go join a combat squad and get some random little injury. When time comes, make sure you give me a nice little bonus, enough to retire with. Yeah, right. Adjutant. Who else would be kind enough to share their compensation with someone else? You mean you wouldn't share yours with me? No. Wow. Petty much. Lentine pouts to express her displeasure, but they've been through this routine so many times before that Kenny doesn't bother following up on the old gag with her. How many more rooms are there which need blowing? Intel indicates 3 or more. There are 2 more. Looks like there's a whole mess of black op for us today. Suddenly, Lentine pulls off her earpiece. Kenny's about to speak, but she signals for him to stop. Did you hear something? I think it sounded like a helicopter. A helicopter? The squad leader removes his earpiece, listens carefully, then shakes his head. Not a thing. What happened? Our intel didn't mention anything about aircraft passing nearby, right? I mean, it's perfectly normal for people to use aircraft without filing for permission in an uncovered region like this. Lentine frowns and puts her earpiece back on, but she then continues speaking in an unhappy tone. I have a bad feeling about this. Adjutant Lentine, we just got a transmission from Bravo. They found an elevator that wasn't mentioned in the intel, and there's a large thermal signature coming from the chamber below the elevator. I'll patch in a video feed from over there. The two of them turn back to the screen, it flashes, and then its perspective changes. This time the viewer is looking into the pit with a thermal imager. Give me the size and composition of the thermal structure. One moment, please. Scan complete. I'm picking up at least 40 life forms and a massive thermal source, massing at 5 units or more. 5 units. So it's a boojum then. So they summoned us before the ritual was complete. That doesn't happen very often. The sound of gunshots comes over the transmission, seemingly from a long distance away. I hear gunshots. All teams stay alert. Who are you engaging? Hang on. There's nobody. None of the teams have engaged anyone. Then something must have happened underground. Phantom, finish planting the explosives. The rest of you, head deeper into the pit. The assignment's hazard level is now 1. All personnel, prepare to engage a boojum. Understood. Well, the answer was simple enough. There was an added hint of nervousness in the man's voice. You're calling this a hazard level 3 mission, even though there's a boojum present? You were wondering why they shelled out so much, right? Looks like you got your answer. Still, even if it is FABN group in charge of things, boojum so close to the green zone is going too far. Forget it. This isn't any of our business. Have Alva prepare themselves. Suddenly they hear bullets strike the exterior armor plate of the vehicle, followed by emergency transmission over the radio. This is Echo. We've engaged unknown dolls. They're attempting to enter the underground chamber. Dolls? How many? Unable to estimate. They've got a sniper. 2 of our guys have been hit. We're pinned down. Gosh, dang it. Can I get an IFV over there and give them fighter support? Why now of all times? Rhino 2, Rhino 2. What the heck are you doing? Why aren't you returning fire? What? Your optics were destroyed? You shower of useless buttholes. Must I do everything myself? Kenny climbs into the gunner's seat and prepares to manually control the auto cannon for the attack. However, there is a sound of crisp impact from outside the vehicle, and the gunner's motion in front of him promptly bursts into a sea of static. What? Don't waste your time. We aren't going up against ordinary dolls. Alpha, mount up. We're moving in to assist. Ow. I'm approaching the coordinates. Miss Dandelion sent us. I see some IFVs here. They might end up being a big threat for us. I've destroyed their optics. They shouldn't be able to do anything for the time being. Aww. Got it. Ready to break in? That was adorable. Yeah. Give me 30 seconds and I'll be at your position ASAP. Sharkry, stay inside and keep the engines running. Prepare to head out at any time. So I won't get a chance to shine? Not unless you want to see some 25mm ventilation in your frame. Okay then, but don't take your time. Keniara Oshi, bye tomato. I know that was probably 20 minutes ago, so I'm sorry, but bye tomato. Jeez, we're already 3 stages in. All this because both sides operate on shot first questions later. Well, yeah, because these guys would be good guys too, right? Oh, we can't hold them, Adjutant. Those dolls made it underground. Fighting style and such capable T-dolls. This is Bravo. We've made contact with unknown T-dolls. They've got a lot of firepower on their side. Requesting backup. So, there are T-dolls underground as well. Looks like these are becoming more interesting. Interesting? Leave 3 people behind, tend the wounded. Everyone else follow me. We're going after those dolls. Got it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the pit, how many more enemies are there? There should be at least 50 according to scans. Right? Is there another way? As you can see, right now I'm just a diner. Look, I'm being serious here. In that case, we should be able to solve the problem handily once our reinforcements arrive. Right. Reinforcements? Where are we getting reinforcements from? Just then, I hear a familiar, yet unfamiliar voice in my earpiece. The moment I do, I know we've been tossed a lifeline. Goshijin-sama, do you read me? Loud and clear. We received Miss Dandelion's distress signal. and are now approaching your location. Machido's come too. Wait for us, Shiki-kan. Don't you dare die down there. Looks like my number's not just up just yet. Dandelion, give me Sentoreshi's location. Already sent. Oh, shoot. Already sent. The enemy's weight of fire is massive. The sooner we're out of here, the better, considering we don't know if more enemy reinforcements will show up. I glance through the signal icons at my terminal. Sentoreshi and the others are approaching fast. From their position, I can count on them to help me pincer the enemy. However, we'll need to take Helena back from the Bujum first. I look around. Diane is hitting the enemy with everything she's got. Colgate and Helena, and the Helena she's protecting, are looking at me with frightened eyes. We don't have much room for error, but I'm certain that even after all this time, adults can still work together. There's no time to hesitate. I quickly decide on my next move and give my orders. Diane! Shiki-kan? I need suppressive fire from you and Zhang Yu in that direction to draw their attention. Our reinforcements will flank them from behind and will break through their location. Ah, yes. Dandelion, help compute the ideal attack route for Diane, Sentoreshi, and send it to them. Already done and sent. Sentoreshi, give me a sit rep once you get the position, then wait for my go. Yes, go Shujin-sama. ETA is 1 minute. Diane, keep laying down fire. When I give the word, we'll make a break for a more open area and draw the enemy's attention. Zhang Yu, can you and your big sis put on a good show to distract them? No problem. Just leave it to me. That's all I needed to hear. And who might this be? This is Xiaohui. She's a new friend of ours. Got it. Then how about this? You look pretty agile. So can you help me bring Helena back to us? I'll have Dandelion disable Helena's defense systems. That's Diane and Zhang Yu's Commander Shiki-kan for you. Already giving orders without hesitation, even though this is the first time we've met. Hey, if you can't handle it, I'll do it instead. Of course, I can. Should I head out now? I'm glad you're willing to help. Wait for my signal. I look up at Helena, who's still floating in air. She's watching us struggle with a look of amusement on her face. I pay no further attention and look down at the Helena in front of me. You're Helena too, right? Yeah. You want to live? I can't die yet. I see the determination in her eyes, and then turn to Colgate. Protect her. She's also Helena. Okay. Colgate reaches down to support the Helena beside her and looks up at the airborne Helena. So, our Helena. Relax. She'll be fine. Saying so, I turn to look at the hovering Dandegate. You can do it, right, Dandelion? As you wish. After I give my orders, the dolls all look at me. I take a deep breath and wait for the transmission to come in. Okay, I might have missed something. So our Helena is the one floating and is evil with her memories returned. The Helena that's currently good is the Helena that's walking, that's like able to speak in coherent sentences and shot someone, right? Go Shujin-sama. We've reached our attack position, waiting for your command. Got it. Everyone go. Sentoreshi and Machido silently drop down into the elevator platform at the bottom shaft, while their black armored enemies are focused on firing in other direction. They suddenly open fire, cutting the black armored troopers down before they even know what's going on. The dolls soon take the position the enemy soon occupied and begin providing us with cover. The Dandegate flies up to Helena, who seems unhappy. The spherical defense system begins to glow, but Dandelion seizes control of them before they can finish charging up. Not time for bad kids. When they're both daughters? Correct. Okay, good. You. Before she can finish, the three spheres glow and then revert to their box form, which encloses Helena. Good Helena made it sound like our Helena isn't in control of her body. I see. So Helenas can probably control which Helena is in which Helena. Xiaohui, go now. Got it. Xiaohui throws up a grappling line and immediately springs toward the high ground while Diane and Zhang Yu rush for Sentoreshi. Run! Everyone breaks into mad dash when Sentoreshi and Machido putting them down. The enemy's volume of fire significantly reduced. I'm running at the group's head while Colgate and Helena follow close behind. Diane and Zhang Yu bring up our rear. As we approach Sentoreshi, I notice the flickering of flashlights in a tunnel off to our side. Go Shujin-sama. Incoming enemy reinforcements. It's a blind spot. I can't hit them. Cover the Shikikan. Diane and Zhang Yu immediately rush to the head of the group and turn to face the enemy reinforcements. Zhang Yu presses on my shoulder to get my head down, while she and Diane block the bullets from the side. The two dolls might mount a fighting retreat away from the enemy. Dazzling flashes of light erupt as bullets splinter and fragment against their frames, but they grit their teeth and continue returning fire. Looking up, I see that Cao Hui has taken the Helena box out of the air, and she is using the grappling line to rake the enemy with fire one-handed as she swings through the air, briefly throwing them back. Go now! As the enemy fire falters, we begin another sprint towards Sentoreshi's location. Cao Hui makes a hard landing beside us, and Dandelion follows closely behind her. Sentoreshi, use this. Machito picks up a smoke grenade from one of the black armored corpses and tosses it to Sentoreshi. Two of them prime their smoke grenades and throw them out. The two smoke grenades hit the ground and clouds of white smoke obscure us. Everyone gets behind cover. Perhaps it's because they can't see us anymore, but the enemy gunfire suddenly stops. Sentoreshi, Wa 2000. Thank you for your support. I'm called Machito now. It's an honor. Miss 95, 97, are you alright? We're fine. My frames are still functional, but we should leave ASAP. I look at the dolls. Diane's shoulder and head are damaged, while Zhang Yu has two big holes in her thigh. Sentoreshi and Machito help them onto the platform elevator. Colgate, still patting Helena as they make their way forward, while Cao Hui struggles with dragging the heavy box on her back. I run onto the elevator, too. It groans and fumbles before slowly grinding into movement. The dolls keep their weapons pointed the way we came, but no enemies follow us. The thunderous gunfire that surrounded us just now has suddenly vanished. The surroundings are quiet, except for the noise of the elevator. For some reason, I don't feel the joy of narrowly escaping death. On the contrary, a sense of foreboding fills my mind. Sharkry, are there any enemies in the position we entered from? Not right now. Are you sure? This is important. Sharkry's been watching through a telescope all this time. Alright, then start the ignition. We'll be there in 5 minutes. You have a vehicle outside? Yeah, it's supposed to be a surprise present. Present? But... Machito, bad news. I'm seeing a ton of IFVs headed towards your location. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them! Isn't that all the IFVs we saw just now? What should Sharkry do? Prepare to engage. Shikikan, there are IFVs trying to intercept us. No, this wouldn't have gone as easy. Shikikan, I have a plan. Ooh. Alright. And then we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pieces. Who got a free 6-star on the Dungeon Meshi banner. Congratulations, Sage. Sajay. Alright, y'all. Oh, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna do a quick 10 pull here. Yes, I know I can select one, but it can only be claimed once, so I'm trying to see if I can get Changzhou before I select one. And then I can swap over to, I can instead grab like Parity or something. Well, that was nothing, so... It was an Ebenholz dupe. Alright, y'all. Ooh, that was a lot of stuff. So, we at least are caught up on Amidst Wings of Grey. I did have a fun time. The hardest part was just keeping up with that Amidst Wings of Grey thingy. But I'm glad we got all caught up. So that was enjoyable. We're going to be doing the last part of Machito's Cafe, and oh my god, it's nearly 2 o'clock. Jesus, this stream has been going on for longer than I'm used to. But yes, we're going to be doing a lot. We're going to be finishing off that part of the stream. The Rhapsody, whatever it's called. Upcoming stream is going to showcase chapter 9, which is nice. I'm going to have to try to find some time into that. But yeah, so that was the start. That was the Amidst Wings of Grey that I missed. And that was the start of Zucchero Cafe. story is nice. I enjoy the pacing of GFL2, and now that it's not like catching up on GFL1 stuff, I feel like I'm actually like getting to see good dialogue. I'm getting to see good stuff happening. Like, I'm really happy about that. That's something that I'm super duper happy about. So, yeah. So far, I've genuinely been enjoying Amidst Wings of Grey and Zucchero Cafe. There is one thing that I want to ask you guys to stick around for, and we can talk a little more. But one thing I wanted to do was do a couple polls in this other gacha I play real quick, because I'm not going to be doing that event. I opted to do Girlfoot 2. So I can at least be caught up for chapter 9 and whatever Klukai's event is called. Some of y'all may play it. I know we joked about what's it called? This game getting a collab with a Girlfoot 2, and probably genuinely it probably will. Like I do not doubt, because you guys were like, "Oh, they have good relations. They have good relations." So Affleon? No. Affleon. Wait, who's Affleon? Okay, it's actually Nikkei, real quick. This is the one thing that I wanted to do. 10 poll later in the week, so you have another chance. I needed let's see, one more limit break here. And this is what I decided to skip, the Evangelion. Affleon is chapter 9. Okay. But I skipped this event. I heard it wasn't that great. And so I just at least wanted to finish off my polls, and then we'll end stream. So I just need to grab 2 more of these units. And we all understand gacha at least. So we know how it feels to at least see cool things. Oh, Affleon is Klukai's. Wait, chapter 9 is Klukai's event? She's that important? Oh my god, I'm getting hecked right now. I need the cat ears. This is depressing, y'all. Oh my god! Where are my SSRs today? I worked so hard to get through all this story, and this is how I'm rewarded? Jesus. How many polls has that been, y'all? She's not important in her words, it's all you need. Hayami got, oh, there's an SSR. Hayami got my luck today. Oh! I just got 3 SSRs. Oh my god! Oh my god. I'm glad I caught that on stream, or no one would ever believe me. Dude, the amount of people who probably pulled for Scarlet, and she's almost fully limit broken for me. Ray, and then the 2 Rays that I needed, and then Black Scarlet. Jesus. Beautiful. Easy. Clear. Man, see, this is all you have to do. You just have to complain, and then you get everything you need. Easy. Alright, y'all. So that's gonna do it for this stream. I really appreciate y'all coming out and enjoying this with me. I had a great time going through and catching up in Girlfoot's story. I find it funny that Diane didn't like star at all in there, which was humorous to me, but you know, That's kind of how it be though sometimes. Okay, guys. I will see you guys for what's it called? Either Saturday or Wednesday when I'm doing coconut battles. So please stop by. Take care, everyone, and bye-bye for now.